What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel, and reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at @6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. Wagwan. What up, y'all? Sixth element of hip hop. Reno Noir here. We got Stu Dog in the building and Bloodshed Books joining us this evening. Bloodshed, what's good?
What's good, y'all? What's good?
Last night we had a crazy technical cluster bang of issues, and the show ended on an abrupt note. And so we just decided to come back tonight and do a little continuation, man, because we didn't get to finish our conversation, man. It was just getting good. We was talking about all kind of good shit. We waiting on Raw Talk and Sada to come back because I need to finish my conversation with those two because they was tripping. But we're gonna get into that. Stu, what's wrong, man? You good?
That makes me feel terrible that I had missed the show.
No, well, first of all, I wasn't gonna do a show yesterday. It was canceled, and then the GTA 6 trailer came, and it was crazy. And like within 5 minutes of me seeing that trailer, I fired up the show just to get on and talk about the trailer and show the trailer because I'd never seen nothing like that, man. It's crazy. Stu, you back?
I feel it, but
Yes,
often I, you know what I'm saying, if I'm not here, often I'll watch. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
yesterday I was like, all right, I'm gonna get some work done. I'm gonna get some groceries done. I came back. I'm like, they still on? That shit said bloop, hour 41 minutes. I was like, word.
sometimes, man,
That was a good show. That was a
it
good show.
it was just about to be one, man, because yes, sir. What's good, Johnny Quest? Salute. Yeah, we was just getting into it, but yeah, like I was gonna come on by myself and just show the trailer, and Stu popped on and Raw Talk and Sada came in because we all on the account, but yeah, man, it ended up becoming a conversation. We started talking about the trailer, and we morphed into DC and Marvel as we always do, hip hop and all of that. Peace, Slade, what's good? And got into it, man. I think we left off talking about the Marvel mini series that they're doing on Disney Plus, and I was saying that I think that their mistake was, or one of their mistakes, is that the show format sucks. These little mini series, these little 30-minute episodes, it's too much like network TV. They should have went more with a cable TV show format, like a Game of Thrones or Sopranos, or those hour-long mini movie shows that we get on HBO and Showtime all the time, like it ain't nothing. And they could have easily done that with the Marvel characters and given us real quality. Each episode is like a 1 hour movie. I mean, that would have been great, and no, you wouldn't have as many, but that would have been great too. Like just two. We just need two solid shows would have been fucking peak, ongoing joints.
2 a year. Yeah, 2 a year.
Yeah,
would
I
have
was
been
just
good.
going
To a
to ask you
year.
that. How many episodes do you have the rundown of how many episodes they plan on coming out with in the season? It's not like 6 episodes of 30
No, that's
minutes.
what it is. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're doing these 30-minute
30,
episodes.
20 minute,
And that's
20-minute
yeah.
episodes that we get.
Oh,
Yeah,
so they're
that's
wasting
nice.
everyone's time.
Well, you know
Oh,
that. You've seen the shows, Moon Knight and all of the shows that they put on, and what's the other one? WandaVision and Falcon and Winter
WandaVision,
Soldier. What's the
Falcon, Winter
Loki was decent.
Soldier.
Secret War,
Loki was
Secret,
good. Secret, Secret
Secret.
Wars.
No, not Secret Wars.
Secret,
I was gonna say,
Secret
Secret
Invasion.
Invasion. Don't forget
Secret
Secret Invasion.
Secret
Invasion.
Invasion.
But it wasn't 30
Miss
minutes.
Marvel.
Those were
Those were
30 minutes.
short.
Miss Marvel.
Those were not hour-long episodes.
Word.
Those
See,
were
I binged
short.
it.
Those were
No,
short-ass
we
episodes.
haven't gotten an hour-long episode from Disney.
Some of them, but and the thing is too, they're one season one shot. They're little short one season shows, and they're what they're calling a season is 6 episodes of 30 minute episodes. That's not a season. A season to me, a decent show, I want 10 to 13
Like
episodes, an
12.
hour long each.
See,
That's the show.
my problem is not with the standalone short stories that they're telling every. That's not the problem. Actually, yeah, bring it on. The thing is where you leave off. That last episode, you have no intention of coming back. You have no intention of continuing the story. And as we've spoken on before, popularity doesn't even matter. Let's say they say what did you say? Every movie, every show besides Loki has just been set. You know what I'm saying, to that one show, despite its popularity or something like that. So it's these little short films. I'm trying to, how can I put this in a way that makes sense? If you're gonna put it standalone, leave it standalone. Like they did with Moon Knight when you have Homeboy turn around. You know what I'm saying? Leave it standalone. Don't have people sitting there waiting for the story to continue, and you never, from Jump Street, you never had intention on continuing the story. That's
Yeah,
frustrating.
that's a good point, and that's another problem with the format that they made, because they're these little mini shows, and yeah, they were okay. The plan, the idea, it didn't work out, and I get that, but the idea originally was that they were going to do these little mini shows as tie-ins to films. They were supposed to be foreshadowing
Right.
films, tying into movies, and all that, but that sort of didn't happen because the movies didn't align and shit, and they didn't come. And then, like you said, what happened at the end of Moon Knight? What's going on? The fuck?
Right.
And then all of the shows really, and and then now they're coming out with more shows. So instead of coming out with more shows, why don't you finish the fucking stories that you didn't finish? That's one thing. But no, I think that if they had just set it up like this is what I thought they were gonna do. Like I thought it was gonna be like an HBO show or like a real show. Like I'm thinking MCU quality, Disney, Marvel, richest, biggest, most fucking, money behind it, company out there making movies today. These are going to be top notch. And they give us these like CW quality shows that ain't going nowhere. And it's like, I was just, I felt cheated, man. I felt robbed. I think a lot of people did. And then they want to jack the price up. Stu talking about $100 something for Disney Plus. That's insane.
I was just about to say that, and then you
Whoa,
got
whoa,
people like
whoa, whoa,
paying
whoa. Stu's talking about
$140
100. That's
for
true.
what
That's
premium.
it's at 100. I bet.
No,
Listen,
that's crazy.
I was just about to
turn on
say.
your. Listen, look at your bill. I mean, well, if you paying monthly, you are not gonna see it. I pay yearly because I just thought like, fuck it, I pay it for the years. Decided to do
Right.
that. I ain't gotta worry about it. I need my
Yeah.
$200 a month.
And
And
that
then you
shit
never know
like
what I might decide to
$180 or
buy.
something.
It's like 100. Hang on, let me see something. Computer, how much is a subscription to Disney Plus?
Life the game. Yeah, Life Simulator 6. Yes, GTA 6.
That's gonna be dope. That's why I'm here. I want to hear more about
One
it. I caught a little
one
bit of it
hundred
yesterday,
and
and I was like,
$39
oh snap.
for the year.
What's that?
Say it again.
Disney Plus.
No, Bloodshed.
130.
But
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
139. Yeah, no, 139. But nah, Bloodshed. What were you talking about?
Oh, the GTA game. I caught a little bit of it
Oh,
yesterday. Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh shit. You see the graphics on that shit?
dog,
Hell yeah, that's a life game.
insane.
And
Yeah,
I was like,
man.
how much is it? How much is it still?
139. 14.99 a month. They got, I guess they got three different plans now. They got a $7 plan, but you get commercials with that. A $14 plan with no commercials and better picture. That's 4K. And then you can just pay for the year, which is $139
Mhm.
American Smackers.
Yep.
139 American Smackers before tax. That's before tax, folks. Unless you
Yep.
live in, unless you live in Delaware, Alaska, or one of those states that don't charge you
Right.
tax.
Do you know how much damage I could do bills and the grocery store and my gas tank with $140 every year? Just in 1 month, what I could do with
Yeah.
that $140.
Yeah,
Shit,
just
for $15 a month.
Well,
But yeah,
GTA, that GTA 6 trailer, that shit right there, it came out. There was a 7 second. This is just to fill you in. A 7 second TikTok video that just was like going bananas all weekends after it claimed to show the first look in this in-game footage of Grand Theft Auto 6. Uh, it's an open world, crazy ass blockbuster. The trailer officially did come out, but yeah, they said that the leak was likely like an employee, son of the employee, the son of an employee at
Yeah, the
Rockstar.
dev. It was the
Yeah,
son's dev
yeah, yeah.
who lent it to, who showed it to somebody, and then somebody, the person he showed it to, took this and then put it up, and then that's how it got out.
Mhm. Yeah, well, they released the trailer early online because it had leaked. And yeah, it reveals the sixth chapter in the game is coming out next year, according to the developer. Highly anticipated trailer surpassed 32 million views within its first few hours on YouTube, which is that's unheard of. And then the trailer was originally supposed to go up on Tuesday, December 5th. Tonight at 9 a.m. Today at 9 a.m. But like I said, in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, Rockstar Games said our trailer has leaked, so please watch the real thing on YouTube. And then GTA 6, the next chapter of the adventure. The franchise has been a long time coming, but GTA 5 came out in 2013, so this has been it's like 10 solid years. Um, and the trailer shows us the female protagonist. So this is a female protagonist in the story mode, which a lot of people are pissed about, and I don't think it's a problem at all. First of all, most people are playing the online anyway, and you're making your own character, so this shit is irrelevant. But it's cool. It's her name's Lucia, and she appears to go on a crime spree in Miami, and in I'm sorry, Vice City, crowded beaches, city highways, clubs, all of that shit. With her partner, Bonnie and Clyde, type partner deal, and Rockstar, owned by Take Two Interactive, has struggled with leaks a lot. In 2022, the hackers leaked unreleased footage from its next iteration of GTA. The video gaming community was rocked by the emergence of online screenshots and gameplay videos, which the company confirmed were real and had been leaked as a result of network intrusion. They said we'd recently suffered network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage from the next Grand Theft Auto. And so this ain't no new shit to them. I don't know if it's some shit that they perpetuate themselves or what, because it does give a nice buzz. It definitely does give
It
them
could be
some
true.
some hype.
It could be true,
This
Reno. It could
particular
be true.
leak seems
Sure,
intentional.
could
This
be
one
true.
seems intentional.
Could be true.
If it was supposed to
But I'm
come
with
out
you.
today and it happened to come out a couple of days earlier. Oops, like come on, man.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds like bullshit. Yeah, I call
it's
bullshit.
It could be true, and it could be also a bully, because Rockstar's been known to do stuff like that. Um,
Yeah,
but then again, maybe because we haven't
exactly.
heard anything about Grand Theft Auto 6 for a long time, bro. It's been almost a year, I would
We've
say,
been
since
starving for information. Yeah,
we haven't gotten anything, and we know it's coming. It's just we haven't heard anything. So maybe it's true. Maybe a little guy, stole the information, put it up on his jaw, said, "Skip it.
word
I'm getting
and
famous. I'm getting famous for 24 hours." Did what he had to do. We don't know, but like I said, Rockstar is no stranger to doing quirky things. They've
yeah.
done,
10 years is a long
um,
time. Excuse me, I have to wait. 10 years is a long time of game development.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna knock their
13.
socks off.
Yeah,
They
it's
they
been like
they
it's
took
been more.
their time. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's been
Since
Yeah.
GTA
it's been a
five
long time.
to now. Say it again, Stu.
Yeah, the last one came out in what? The last one came out in what? 2013 was the last game.
2013.
GTA 5.
So they've had
GTA 5 was
time
released
to
in
really,
2013.
yeah. This is gonna be a dope ass game. This is gonna be a dope ass
But then you
game.
got to think too,
Um,
Bloodshed. We switched engines. You went from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. Uh, that played a big part in it too, because when they came out with these systems can handle Unreal Engine 5. And I guess they were like, well, look, this is way better than the one we already developed. I mean, they could scrap it and then start fresh with. That'd take another at least 2 years in development.
That's a
to get
great
that up and running.
question. What console is it coming out on? All of them?
Everything
It's
except for
all across the
Switch.
board?
Everything except for Switch. Yeah. I just want to know what engine they got running on, 4 or 5. It's most likely 5. But
Man, those type
with
of
the level
graphics, they're
of
gonna be update after update after update.
nah, they gonna
And when you got that
not
going
them.
on,
Nah, they can't afford to do that. It's gonna look. It's gonna be too many people buying that game, waiting in line. They're gonna do a midnight launch. It's gonna be
man,
big.
they about to
Like
break the internet with this game.
yeah,
And they know it too.
yeah,
They
and they
know it.
usually
10
do.
years and a little bit of change.
All right, guys, you see this right here?
A
Really?
live action
Y'all
Legend
see
of
it?
Zelda film.
Yeah.
Peace,
Why?
everybody.
Peace, peace. What's good, homie?
Nobody asked.
You know what it
I'll
is.
talk in the building. Yeah, nah, this is phenomenal, guys. This is super dope. This is super hype. But at the same time, a lot of Zelda fans are there's some very mixed emotions, but this is big news right now in video gaming. I know right now, speaking of the video games and stuff, we're talking about GTA 6, but this is straight up a document, this is straight up from the Nintendo website. It's a news release, development of a live action film, Legend of Zelda to start. Nintendo Company Limited today announced it will develop a live action film of Zelda. The film will be produced by Shigeru Miyamoto, representative director and fellow of Nintendo, and Avi Arad, chairman of Arad Productions, who has produced a lot of mega hit films. It says the film will be produced by Nintendo and Arad Productions and directed by Wes Ball. The film will be co-financed by Nintendo and Sony Pictures Entertainment Inc., with more than 50% financed by Nintendo. Theatrical distribution of the film will be done worldwide by Sony Pictures Entertainment Inc. There's Miyamoto right there. It's the guy. This is the guy that creates Mario and all of this shit, all the Nintendo Link and Zelda. Avi Arad. By producing visual contents of Nintendo IP by itself, Nintendo is creating new opportunities to have people from around the world access the world of entertainment, which Nintendo has built through different means apart from its dedicated game consoles. By getting deeply involved in a movie production with the aim to put smiles on everyone's faces through entertainment, Nintendo will continue its efforts to produce unique entertainment and deliver it to as many people as possible. About Nintendo, there's their Nintendo stuff, there's their licensing information, blah blah bluesy blee. Uh yeah. And like I said, man, it's there's a lot of mixed emotions and a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of mixed opinions, because everyone has their opinion. And here's the thing with Zelda, a game like Zelda, a character like Link who doesn't talk, doesn't have a whole lot of personality to speak of, and so it's everyone sort of has their own interpretation of Zelda and Link and the stories, and a lot of the stories are left very vague, especially if you're talking about the recent two
Yeah,
games. But
that's why I asked why. Why are you making a live action of
well, the
why?
Maze Runner franchise director Wes Ball is a huge fan of Legend of Zelda and a major admirer of the animated movies by legendary Spirited Away filmmaker Hayao Miyazaki. So we've heard of Studio Ghibli. If you guys know anything about like anime and stuff like that, Studio Ghibli is a very like renowned studio that has a very unique style, a very well-known style. And Ball says that he hopes that both of these passions will be evident in his planned adaptation of the beloved Nintendo video game series. So he is actually planning to, he wants it to be somewhat like a Studio Ghibli-esque film. Remember,
But it's live action. That's why I'm saying why, because the past Zelda films are animation. There are
right?
certain things in the game of Zelda that you can't. It would be really hard to adapt
Yeah.
to live action.
Well,
Although,
that's why they're talking about doing it as a it's not live action in the sense of people walking around with elf suits on. It's live action in the sense of Avatar, Beowulf, right? So very CGI, really, but live action, but not. You know what I mean? So, um,
so basically an animated film.
So basically, an animated film that they can call live action because it's with live
It's
actors
still
and stuff like
basically
that. So it's not, yeah, it's still live actors and stuff like that, but it's gonna be like Avatar. So would you call Avatar an animated film? It's like
well,
that. He describes his vision as this awesome fantasy adventure movie that isn't like Lord of the Rings, it's its own thing. He said, I've always said I would love to see a live action Miyazaki. And again, he said that wonder and whimsy that he brings to things, I would love to see something like that. So we're talking about he's definitely on a very whimsical, artistic, you know, much like the video games, how they're very vague, and you know what I mean, very, I don't know, vague is just a really good word, but for them. But Nintendo announced in November that the company is developing this live action Zelda film centered on, Link, and Nintendo and Sony are co-producing the movie with Derek Connolly from Jurassic World writing the screenplay and Wes Ball both directing and producing. With Wes Ball and Joe Hartwick Jr. since 1986. There's been more than 25 different games in this series, which usually centering on Link, who wields the Master Sword and has the master, the shield, the Hylian shield, always alongside Zelda or saving Zelda to protect Hylia, from the dark forces of Ganon and whatnot. And it's going to be awesome. He promises. That's his quote. I'm sorry. Quote. And then end quote. He said, my life. He said, my whole life has led up to this moment. He said, I grew up on Zelda, and it's the most important property, I think, that's untapped IP, if you will. So we are very much working hard to do something. We are not just trying to do it just because we can. We want to make something really special. End quote. So, I definitely like to hear that. I love to hear when I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck if we've had 1,000 of these, or oh, we've done that before, or this or that. Fuck all that. If the fucking filmmaker loves it like I love shit, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. When the filmmaker doesn't know shit about it, we get the Kenobi show, we get the Boba Fett show, we get what I'm saying? We get all this, we get the sequel trilogy, shit like that. When they purposely hire people that don't care about the shit that they're making, films about, it comes out like ass. So, you know, when you got somebody that's this passionate about the project making it, I don't care what it was, whether I'm a fan of it or not, I know it's gonna come out good. He said we're working on the script, he said, and whether it's the next one or not, it's hard to say exactly. He said, but certainly the plan is after Planet of the Apes is done. So right now, Wes Ball is speaking to Entertainment Weekly from New Zealand, where he's currently overseeing post production on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is coming out May 24th, 2024, this summer. So this is the first entry in the science fiction franchise since 2017. Matt Reeves directed War for the Planet of the Apes. So if you're following that franchise, it's the next John. The director hopes to shoot the video game adaptation after he's finished with the current, joint. But uh, he said we're working on the script, and whether it's the next one or not, it's hard to say exactly. But certainly the plan is after Apes is done to have a little bit left. To have a little bit of the rest for a moment, a little bit of a rest for a moment, and then dive into Zelda, and hopefully give fans what they're hoping for, and also invite new people in. I think Nintendo's desire is to introduce people to this world that's been around for 40 years now. Um, he said, since I could never even hope to have the chance to direct it, the next big mocap Avatar like movie. Oh, hold on. So this is back in 2010. In 2010, uh, he basically tweeted about his desire to do this, right? So that's what I'm talking about. This is somebody who's been planning this for 10 years type shit. And he saw Avatar, and he said, since I could never hope to have the chance to direct it, the next big mocap Avatar like film should be The Legend of Zelda. He wrote that, he tweeted it. Zelda's not big enough for Hollywood to jump on that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not it. And so, it kind of fell on deaf ears, and nothing really happened with it, obviously. But yeah, so Ball was like, did you see that tweet? And he said, I had forgotten I'd even done it. Someone dug it up after he was announced as the Zelda director and put it out there. He said, I was like, oh, yeah, cool. That makes sense. James Cameron's one of the guys I look up to in terms of movies. He's able to do big, giant spectacle, but he's still able to ground his stories in a way that are very relatable to broad audiences. Avatar inspired me to ultimately make my little short, Ruin, that got me on the Fox people and gave me the Maze Runner movies. So he also did the Maze Runner movies. He said from there it went to Planet of the Apes and then ultimately to Zelda. So this is a guy who's done Maze Runner, he's done Planet of the Apes, and Zelda is to him is his fucking crowning achievement, right? That's the peak. That's his goal that he's been trying to get to. So I mean, for me, I'm just like you, Bloodshed. I would not in a million years be like, you know what they should do? A live action Zelda. Like that's not.
I'm not even gonna front. I'm sold.
But
I'm sold.
now I'm fucking
I'm
sold,
sold.
bro. Now I'm
After
fucking sold.
hearing you out, yeah, man.
That shit right there mean, that mean, yeah.
Sounds great. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It it doesn't really matter what the project is. If they love it and they feel passionate about it, man, it's gonna come out great. You know, I think that's just the way I feel about shit. Because we've had so much bullshit with um Star Wars and Marvel and shit. Disney just hiring writers that don't give a shit about the projects and it's just bullshit. Man, Johnny Quest Gaming says Zelda needs to be told like never ending story or like Crawl, in my opinion. I get Peter Jackson to direct it and I would use real people. I think CG cheapens it. Yeah, I mean, but and like Bloodshed said, with Zelda, it's a very fantasy. It is there's you would have
You
to do
gotta
some
go.
CGI.
One,
You got to do something.
you gotta go CG, and two, for the
Yeah.
record, Nintendo will never do a live action
You really couldn't
movie
go no
again.
other route and call it
After
live
Mario
action.
Brothers back in the '90s, Nintendo was fed
Yeah.
up, and they was like, "Look, that was a huge failure. From now on, we'll try to get it as cartoony or close to the video game as possible, because that's what people are used to. They're used to seeing Link in the CG. They're used to seeing Donkey Kong or Mario in the CG,
Animated.
not live
Yeah.
action. Right? Yeah, it's not live action, and that was a mistake for them. And it was a flop. And they don't. Nintendo is not about flopping anything, and they're not gonna flop anything. So
No,
it's
they don't fuck
appropriate. It's
around.
appropriate for them to
They
do
don't
it the
take
way they're
risks.
doing it.
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
don't at
They
all.
don't they don't
They
take
don't
risks.
at all. No, they
Very
don't at all.
Nintendo's very safe company. And this is interesting too because this is kind of what we were talking about. Nintendo is making a live action film adaptation of Zelda, a game franchise best known for its silent protagonists and an infinitely repeating plot and a timeline so convoluted that trying to understand it inevitably drives one to madness. How do you adapt something like that into a 2-hour film? It's tempting to say no one asked for this, which we just was talking about. But that's true of movies based on theme park rides, British teddy bears, and plastic blocks. He's talking about, what fucking Lego movies and shit
Paddington,
like, yeah,
Paddington, and all. Yeah,
Ted and all that. Sometimes they're pretty good. There is no law that says movies based on video games or any established intellectual property must suck. He's talking about fucking. I'm an idiot. Winnie the Pooh. But anyway, he said now that Nintendo has gotten a taste of that juicy box office, a Zelda movie is inevitable anyway. And the success they just had with the Mario that Stu, you brought up the one they bombed. They just had a major win with a Mario movie that was pure CG. But I think going Avatar is a fucking genius move for a Zelda movie. This says this is Wired magazine. He said personally, I'm not a fan of assuming that just because a piece of art is based on a pre-existing IP, it must be bad. If anything, I see it as a compelling challenge. Artists consistently find themselves positioned against overwhelming entities driven by accumulating power, yet they still find the courage to create anyway, and with a little wisdom, outsmart the systems they work within that come to consume everything. It is how we get some of the best art we know. All of this is the most head in ass pretentious way to introduce a simple question. What would make Legend of Zelda movie actually good? Alan, this is absurd. Cut all this. Editors note. He's being funny. All right, so this guy, I could link to Nathan Grayson's excellent piece at worker-owned gaming site Aftermath and leave it at that. Grayson puts it, Link is a twink of action. He communicates with his deeds. If somebody tells him that their village halfway across the world has been overrun by ruffians, Link just goes off on a days long journey, blasts the ruffians to smithereens with his comically OP Zonai cannon spear, rebuilds the entire village, and then walks all the way back to shock his new acquaintance by wordlessly conveying that the job's done, effectively leaving them speechless. Who needs to talk when you can do that? No further argument is necessary, but I will still attempt to take it a step further. Since the release of Ocarina of Time, the three primary characters of the series, Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, have been represented by the three forces of the Triforce: courage, wisdom, and power, respectively. Though Link isn't just courageous, as in a person who, among other attributes, exhibits courage, no, Link represents courage. He is, in many ways, an avatar of the very idea of courage. This is something that's reinforced through gameplay. There is no technical reason Link couldn't have dialogue the same as any other character. But as the player, controlled character, Link is bestowed with an unfailing will. Unless the player stops playing the game, Link will never stop fighting, no matter how hard the challenge. This arguably means that Link as a character has more in common with older morality plays than more modern characters. Yeah, and Link not talking also, there's a lot of great reasons for it thematically and stuff. But Nintendo was never big on characters that talked a lot. Like think about all their characters. They don't say shit. Samus, Mario, like they don't talk. But it works, and that's what I think. A lot of fans are worried about this movie just for that fact. But like you said, Bloodshed, there's been a lot of animated Zelda movies, and Link talks in all of them. So I personally,
Yeah, but they suck. But the ones that they came out with, they suck. All the Zelda
yes,
movies that came out sucked. They just
garbage.
suck. Like they just
Yeah,
like no Zelda
not
fan
yeah.
likes them. No
We
Zelda
still
fan
need a
watched
good
them.
one.
And the ones that
Yeah,
did, either threw the disc out the window, kicked their
Hey,
TV
hey,
over, or just turned it
actually,
off
that's
and
some of the best
just
sleep
never did it again.
I've probably
They just
ever
sucked,
gotten.
bro.
what'd you say, Bloodshed?
I said that's probably some of the best sleep I've probably ever gotten.
Oh,
Putting up with
yeah,
Zelda movies.
yeah.
I like.
And he said in Ocarina of Time, so he's talking about Zelda, and this is what I'm a little worried about. I'm a little worried about it being a Zelda, like starring Zelda Link as a sidekick type movie. Just because of the current state of shit, the way movies are right now. But we'll see. Uh it says right here, while Link may be the character players control, Zelda has frequently had more autonomy and influence over the plot. In Ocarina of Time, she hatches a plan to defeat Ganondorf while still a child, and steers Link from the shadows under the guise of Sheik as an adult. In Twilight Princess, she guides Link on his quest and sacrifices herself to save Midna. In Tears of the Kingdom, she literally becomes a dragon just to bring Link the Master Sword that he needs. In any story that Zelda has Zelda in it, Link is usually doing courageous things in service of Zelda's plans, which is only fitting as Zelda is often representative of either the wisdom or light, and sometimes both in these stories. So you have the Triforce in Zelda, right? The three like triangle shits: courage, wisdom, power, and Link is courage, Zelda's wisdom, and Ganon is power. And they in the story, so in the Zelda canon, Link is actually reincarnated every time. It's a different Link in these stories. But Ganon is the same guy. He's just stays alive. And Zelda and Link are like reincarnated every time in these stories, but they the stories evolve, and they do have an actual timeline that you can follow from the very first game made and all that. And I think Skyward Sword is the actual first game chronologically, or first in the story. That actually is like the prequel to the whole shit. But yeah, it's a lot of lore, man, behind Zelda, a whole lot. My son has two. Look at this. You see these books? You see these books? These big ass encyclopedias.
Mm-hmm.
My son got like three of those just about Zelda.
Oh damn.
You know what I'm saying?
See,
There's one.
yes.
Zelda makes a bunch. There's a bunch of them shits. Different
This
lore.
is
So this
crossed
is
my mind, and I hope I'm not right.
what'd you say?
Y'all remember back in the day when they were boosting everybody and got everybody hyped for that first Final Fantasy movie, saying that that was like a live action thing, saying that it was mixed with animation, but there was no part of live action in that joint.
Oh, you talking about what was it called?
Back then.
It's not gonna be like that. But what was that movie? I know the one you're talking about. It had something about spirits.
Yeah, it's put me in the mind of that,
Final
but
Fantasy. It looked like
not
some
the way the
Matrix shit.
movie was made, but the disappointment that came with it.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of
Yep.
where my mind is kind of put. Yeah, like yeah, to be hyped for something like this is one thing, but I don't, that how do you incorporate the animation into a live action film? That's what I can't wrap my mind around.
Well, have you ever seen the movie Beowulf? All right. Well, write that down right now.
Mm-hmm.
Swear to God, one of the dopest shits. It's called Beowulf. It's recently. I want to say maybe came out in like '06, '07, '08, some in that area of time.
It's very
And it
similar
was starring
to
fucking starring Anthony Hopkins. Um, who else was in it? My boy Ray Winstone is the star, plays Beowulf, one of my favorite fucking voice actors. Well, just actors, period. Ray Winstone. But yeah, it's called
that's the
Beowulf.
Red Viking tale, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's yeah, it was originally it's the first like story book that is in existence or some shit. But anyway,
Mm,
it's yeah, it's about Danes and Vikings or whatever. But
okay, okay. And if I
it's
watch this, what's up? What am I gonna
all right.
see?
So you're gonna see a movie that it's using real actors, but the CGI has sort of um crafts them however it wants them to be. Like here, so Ray Winstone, he's kind of a wide guy. He's like he's kind of plump, you know, maybe he's a little round, he's a little chubby, he's just a wide dude. But he plays Beowulf, who's a very lean, muscular hero, right? But you still see his face. You still see Ray Winstone's face, and you hear his voice, and you see his acting, you see his facial expressions, you see his body movements, and all of that. But he looks how they want him to look,
Mm-hmm.
and if that makes sense. So the whole movie is like that. They're probably in a fucking
So basically, what
warehouse
you're saying is
somewhere,
that
but it
this
looks like a
can't be
castle and
done.
shit.
So this
Hold on.
can't. So my skepticism, I'm just skeptic. But you saying it can be done,
Oh yeah, it, it,
and I'm
it
willing to sit
absolutely can
and
be done.
believe it
I mean, and
for
again,
sure.
the guy making the movie is citing shit like Avatar, so we already know where he's going with it. You know what Avatar looks like, you know. And there's real people in Avatar, but there's whole chunks of that movie where there's not a human being in sight. It's just animated motherfuckers. Ain't no real trees in ain't no real trees in the picture. Ain't no real water, and no rocks, no real animals, nothing in this picture. No
The
real
fish ain't
nothing.
real. The air ain't real.
Nothing real. But it's live action. But Avatar's a film, right? So that's what I'm talking about. They can make it live action without being live action, without just being people in front of a camera. You know, they can do. Yeah, Lion King
Well,
is
then
another
that's what I'm not
example.
expecting anything of Avatar. Is what I'm saying. This is Zelda. People are going to
Say
expect things. You feel
say
what
what
I'm
now?
saying?
Say what
I
now?
mean, people didn't expect anything of Avatar. Do you feel what I'm saying? This is Zelda. People are going to expect things. I'm more on the disappointment factor of what they could and couldn't do, even with Avatar graphics. Like when it came, you know what I'm saying?
No, there's nothing in Zelda they won't be able to do with the technology they have. And if you're talking about story, well, that's that obviously it is going to remain to be seen with any project. We'll see. But
You know,
but
I'm pretty stoked. You
yeah,
know, I'd be down
a-
to see some shit.
in regards to that, in regards to maybe art style, you can look at, like I said, Studio Ghibli animated films and live action films. They have a very unique style, a very distinct style, very well known style. So, and he's talking about Studio Ghibli art style, Avatar technology. So put that with Zelda shit, and there you go. That give you an idea what it's gonna be like. Um, but yeah, Zelda or Link, the games, the story, like I said, there's books and books of lore, and the games are left very vague, so there's a lot of interpretation. So all fans have their own sort of idea of what these characters are like, right? What how is Link and all of that, because like I said, they don't talk in the game, so, or Link anyway, so there's a lot of shit that people interpret and have their own idea. So when it comes out, it's not going to satisfy everybody. you know there's no way. Oh, cool, thank you. Yeah, there's no way it's going to satisfy everybody because of the nature of Zelda, the nature of the IP itself. It's a vague type of thing, you know what I mean? It has a lot of fill it in yourself type of shit, involved with it. um that's just the type of project that it is. But yeah, video game movies generally are hit or miss. For me, they often suck. I don't like many of them, but every now and then they're fucking phenomenal. So, if I'm rooting for anyone, it's definitely this movie. I'm definitely rooting for this movie because I grew up loving Zelda. It's just one of my favorite, IPs, I guess.
That's what I'm worried about. It's the disappointment. That's
Yeah.
all what I'm worried about.
I mean, but I'm not gonna say I'm worried, but I'm rooting for it. In other words, you know,
I'll do
I,
the same.
I hope
But
it's gonna be good, type shit.
put all your eggs
Mm.
in that basket. Don't put all your eggs in
I
that
only hope.
basket.
Is all I can do is hope, because right now I don't know enough about the filmmaker and shit. I hear what he's saying. I hear his ideas. Yeah, if you gave me a Zelda film with Studio Ghibli vibe, Avatar fucking technology, and the lore as set down by Ocarina of Time going forward, gamers know what I'm talking about. Twilight Princess, um, Majora's Mask, right? Those games. Um, then yes, I'm down, bro. I know I absolutely am optimistic about it. But like I said, I'm just taking what this guy has said. I don't know him from Adam. He might be full of shit. I don't know. He might have no, maybe he doesn't have a vision,
Just
or
like never happens.
maybe his
Everybody gets out with Zelda.
maybe his vision, maybe he wants to maybe he wants to make a movie all about transgender characters. Maybe he wants Zelda and Link to be transgender or non-binary. Maybe he's really into that. I don't know this guy. You see what I'm saying? It could go any way. I don't know what this movie's gonna be. Could be a total fucking
Yeah, because
propaganda.
correct?
Yeah.
You know?
Were there any there was transgender apes or people in the maze? Why would it switch all the way? Why would it switch to that? It wouldn't be that bad. I fear for the graphics mainly, and then the disappointment of how what story that they would take. And
Yep.
also, if they do put Zelda at the forefront, well, there's that thing that everybody's frustrated with already, and that's with the female being the empowering, Link being the lower. Even though I mean, that is you know what I'm saying? There's so many
No, what are
avenues
you
that could
saying?
go down.
What are you saying?
I said there's so many avenues that it could go down that would lead to some kind of. I'm just worried about fan disappointment because it sounds like they got a really good team and everything like that, and I ain't mad at that. And I'll stay optimistic, but I'm worried about like fan disappointment or something like that. That's huge.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Anything big like that is gonna definitely have that factor. Any big IP, you're gonna have that factor. There's no well-known iconic thing out there that when you make the movie, it's gonna piss a bunch of people off, or a lot of people are gonna be unsatisfied, because everyone has opinions. And if it's something that's really famous, then there's a lot of people with opinions, which means the opinions are going to vary greatly. And yeah, so
But they got a
that's
strong. It sounds like a
you
strong
can't get
team.
around that. I guess is what I'm saying. You can't get around
It
that
sounds
part
like
of it.
a strong team. So mm,
Hmm.
Ike Perlmutter, no,
I,
Wes Ball, yeah, Ike Perlmutter. That's not the right one. Hold on. But yeah, I mean, I think I think we all knew that it's only a matter of time before a film based on Zelda is coming out. I mean, this is an inevitable movie, especially once the box office success of Super Mario Brothers started blowing up. The reality of that just made it inevitable. It was only a matter of time, but the word came down, like I said, officially last month. Uh, Documents on the Nintendo site. Live action movie is definitely going down. And yes, the world is very nervous collectively. This is uh very shaky ground right here. People are very protective of this series, and this movie is definitely going to be under a microscope from day one. So it's unsurprising that people involved with the film are trying to get ahead of all this. But Wes Ball is currently attached to direct the movie, and while he has a massive film to focus on that's coming out this next year, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Uh, you know, uh, we definitely did get to hear or did get to see he did say some shit about the Zelda movie. Um uh what else did he say? He said this awesome fantasy adventure movie that isn't like Lord of the Rings, it's its own thing. I've always said that I would love to see a live action Miyazaki and the wonder and whimsy that he brings to things. I would love to see something like that. Um, and there's some pretty big declarations while also setting him up to fail because sometimes it feels like Miyazaki has, difficulty living up to Miyazaki. It's a broad claim. Ghibli it sounds like, trying to say that Legend of Zelda will have something similar to what you get when you watch a Miyazaki film, and not exactly, be like one, or even be as good as one, even though, Wes Ball does make some big promises, in terms of the quality of the film, literally saying it's going to be awesome, which is concerning. But yeah, but he also quoted, by saying my whole life has led up to this moment and shit like that. I grew up on Zelda. It's the most important property, I think. That's an untapped IP. Um, yeah, so when I hear shit like that, but he does acknowledge that he has to work on this other movie first. Um, and so he'll start making press rounds and shit. We'll start hearing more about it, coming, down the road and shit like that. But
mm,
it sounds like they don't even have a complete script for this film yet, as Ball revealed. He said, "We're working on the script. And whether it's this one or the next one is hard to say, but certainly the plan is after Apes is done to have a little bit of a rest for a moment, and then dive into Zelda and hopefully give fans what they're hoping for." He said, "I think Nintendo's desire is to introduce people to this world that's been around for 40 years now. Their desire is to fucking cash in on that Mario money again. That's their desire. That's what's going on right now. That's I forget who it was asked. Somebody said, "What? Why are they doing this?" That's why. Because of what? Because of Mario. Because Mario was a huge success, and Link is the next biggest thing in Nintendo. So
I really hope they don't rush this because of that, because of the
Besides,
money. I
Samus.
hope they don't
yeah,
rush
yeah,
because all these
exactly.
people seem like they really like they down for this. You know what I'm saying? And I hope the pressure ain't on. Come on, man, come on, do it, do it, do it because of Mario.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I hope
yeah,
they get their time and it's as
But
badass as they want
Nintendo's
it to be.
it's no yeah, it's no secret Nintendo's always wanted to do something live action with their with their character. It's just that the stuff they did before they got smart sucked. and so now they're very
Mhm.
careful with it, and they're very protective of it because they don't want those same blunders. They know they can bring in big revenue with it. But they know one thing that Disney doesn't. They got to do it right, and they know if they don't do it right, it's going to be backlash. Somebody might fire a rocket at Nintendo's home office. We don't know, but we do know
Yep.
they want to do a Zelda movie, which we've known for years, and they want to do a Metroid movie, which we've known for years. Somebody put up a live, like they did
Yes.
one on YouTube, like it was like a live joint, and somebody did like an anime, like sort of like a CG one, but wasn't really that great. But as soon as Nintendo can get it off and get it popping, they'll do it. But it's got to be right,
Mhm.
and if it's not right, they're not going to do it. They're not going to touch it at all.
Mhm. Yep. That's a fact. And we can only wait and see what they're gonna do. But another movie that's coming out that I'm excited about is Rebel Moon, and I know we talked about that a couple times.
That should be
That
next week,
shit,
right?
yeah, they already, bro. They're already talking about the fucking sequel. Um, the what you call the movie's right around the corner. And because we already know that the sequel is on the way, this is one of the rare times that we're already talking about part two before part one, even comes out. But yeah, all signs seem to indicate that these two films will have a structure similar to Dune, or the last Harry Potter film with the like two, where we see half of a movie and then everything won't come together until the end of part two. Kind of like Endgame and Infinity War type shit. But no one should expect a satisfying ending uh after part one. Um, Basically, this movie is not gonna be like what do you call it, like a complete thing. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a cliffhanger. So gotta know that going in. And we're not just getting, the director told he said, the truth is that movie one is a setup for movie two. The ending, he said, the end is a crazy cliffhanger that launches you into the Scar Giver. I think that's the name for the sequel, The Scar Giver. So we will be watching a movie that essentially is nothing but a setup. Again, uh Infinity War was to Endgame and shit. And which there isn't
Right.
anything wrong with that.
Puts me in the mind of Kill Bill. You can't watch one without the other.
Kind of, yeah, like that. And yeah, and it's also good that Snyder is pretty open about that fact, because knowing that going in, I think that's one of the things that made people mad about the first Dune or the Deathly Hollows, the Harry Potter, was that there wasn't any real ending, and the stories just stopped because we'd been sitting there for too long, and now it was time for part two. So Snyder being upfront that part one of Rebel Moon is just a setup for part two, is the payoff is good, and it means that people will know what they're getting into, going into it. It means that the films will be different in other ways. But I think knowing that makes it more satisfying. Like you get to I know I'm getting to the end, and I know what I'm getting at the end of this movie is a crazy cliffhanger, right? So if I'm expecting a crazy cliffhanger, I don't get mad at the fucking cliffhanger, right? I'm expecting it, and it's dope. Like I'm like, hell yeah, oh yeah, this dope cliffhanger. I know it's coming. What's it gonna be? Whatever. So it's a different way to look at it. He said tonally they're very different movies, in tone. He said in part one, we spend a lot of time in the village, having this real relationship to the place and the people. He said, so when we actually have to fight and die for them, we care about them. It's like we always say, Stu, when you care about the characters, you know what I'm saying? It makes the fucking movie
Yeah,
good.
it makes some fun movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's it.
George Lucas has been quoted. If you ever watch like some of the documentaries they do for Star Wars and things like that, if you listen to him, that's what he said. He said you have to be invested in it. You have to care about it. He's also said if you don't take the time and plan it out, it's not going to come out right. Like these are all the things he did with Star Wars, with those first three movies.
Mhm.
Like even with the last three that he did, he took his time. He did it. He cared about the characters. He added people in that. He used to be in there. He did everything you could do. And the one thing that he did say is that as a director, you had to be dedicated to it. And if you're
Yeah.
not, it's just gonna come out as crap. Every Star Wars movie we've gotten after, the things he's done has come out as crap, except for Rogue One. And that's because nobody was dedicated to making it good. They just wanted to cash in on the name.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's what they got.
And they didn't care about it.
No,
They didn't.
not at
They
all.
didn't grow up on it. They didn't love it.
As
They
long
weren't.
as it said Star Wars on it, they figured dollar signs. That's all it is.
Dollar signs, people
Yeah.
go right.
I
Yeah,
mean, the
people are gonna
Force
buy it.
Awakens. Force Awakens was just a rehab. It was just like the first movie told again in different fucking with different characters and shit.
Yeah.
It was just like
All
a
it is.
just a cash grab. But Rebel Moon Part One is called A Child of Fire. And we know that Rebel Moon was originally a script that Zack Snyder had written for a Star Wars film that never got to be. So instead of trashing the script, he just changed some of the characters' names and planet names and shit like that and made it not a Star Wars movie. It's called Rebel Moon. I think even the name was going to be Rebel Moon for the Star Wars movie, which would have been a dope Star Wars title. But A New Universe, it's going to be. It's a Netflix starting December 22nd. Is later this month.
It looks good.
Um, it looks okay. Yeah, it could go. I think it could go either way. Like the way it looks, it could be really good or it could be just really cheap and bullshit. But it's, I mean, I don't think Zack Snyder is gonna fuck around and make some bullshit, dude. I mean, he just, he's not gonna make no bullshit. Uh, he did 300. He did Man of Steel. He did Army of the Dead. I mean, he's got a dope catalog. And it's a two-part movie. It's like an event. Decades in the making. After crash landing on like a moon in the furthest reaches of the universe, his main character named Cora, played by Sofia Boutella, a stranger with a mysterious past, uh, begins a new life among peaceful, farmers in like a little village settlement, and but she comes for their only hope of survival when the tyrant, the big, I guess maybe would have been Darth Vader. I don't know, or whoever Regent uh, Balisarius, and his cruel emissary Admiral Noble. So you could think, maybe this is the Emperor and Vader or something like that. Maybe not, but I'm trying to like line up what could have been this Star Wars movie turned into Rebel Moon. But they discover that the farmers have been, have unwittingly sold their crops to the Blood Axes. The Blood Axes, leaders of a fierce group of insurgents hunted by the Mother World, which is the main, I guess, the Empire is the Mother World. Maybe is what that is. Did somebody hop out and hop back in? No. Okay. But yeah, Taz, they they were tasked with finding fighters who would risk their lives to defend the people of Velt is the name of the place. So Cora, the lead character, and Gunner, a tender-hearted farmer, naive in the realities of war, so sort of like a young Luke, journey to different worlds in search of the Blood Axes and assemble a small band of warriors who share a common need for redemption along the way. Kai, played by Charlie Hunnam, who is Sons of Anarchy, the lead character. He's a pilot and like a gun for hire, so he's probably like your Han Solo kind of guy. General Titus, played by Digimon Hansu. Y'all know who he is from
On
yeah,
Guardians
Digimon.
of the Galaxy, anything.
Guardians, yeah, fucking Cinque. But yeah, legendary commander, Nemesis, Duna Bay, the commander
Breeze.
Nemesis.
I think it's called Breeze or something like that.
Mhm.
But him and the guy from Walking Dead, they had an ill movie together.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So the pilot Kai, right, played by Charlie Hunnam, the gun for hire General Titus, Digimon, and the legendary commander Nemesis, and a master swordsman named Terok, played by Stas Nair. I don't know who that is. A captive with a regal past, and Milius, played by E. Duffy, a resistance fighter, back on Velt, Jimmy, voiced by Anthony Hopkins, and an ancient mechanized protector hiding in the wings. So a droid awakens with new purpose. But the newly formed revolutionaries must learn to trust each other and fight as one before the armies of the mother world come to destroy them all. It sounds fucking like what? But I think in execution it might be, it might be really cool. So if you're into that kind of shit, I like sci-fi.
Yeah, it's gonna be I think personally, the way the visuals are and
Yeah.
because I've seen it as a preview on like coming attractions or whatever. I was like, yeah, I can't wait for it just to
Yeah.
see it, because Netflix they have some dope shit on it, man. I mean, even the foreign
Some
film.
of it. Yeah. 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 Yeah, some of their shit is dope.
Yeah, I think that's the future of all this movie stuff, man. I think the theaters will be like really niche, where it's viewing parties will be the mainstays of the movie theaters. Like if there's a big event movie and you want to throw a movie party or viewing
Mhm.
for theater, like it's gonna be like a party planning type thing. I
Right.
don't think people will casually go to the theaters anymore once streaming
Yeah,
truly
like going
takes
to the
over.
theater is like
Mhm.
it's like it was
Yeah.
back in the 1920s. Like you
And the
get dressed
next,
up. There's like a family event, but you could just stay home and watch. They limit like they're converting everything that you ain't got to leave the house for real.
Yeah, but
You
you
know what I
do.
mean?
I
it
mean,
could,
you
it
can
could be,
go
but
to the theater as like you got some theaters where you can have dinner parties and stuff like that. I mean, really upscale movie theaters. That's what's gonna happen. Really upscale. You're not gonna have your regular theaters anymore. That stuff is going away. It's over for that.
Right, like it's gonna be an event. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Because why
yeah,
would you go and pay all that money? You don't have to leave the house. You feel what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah,
So it's gonna go back to put on your Sunday's best. We going to the movies type. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I think
yeah,
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't
Dope.
know.
You can
Might be dope.
Rebel
order
Moon is
salmon
getting
and shit, grill
they
salmon
getting
table and everything. You good?
is
Watch.
getting an R-rated extended cut.
No.
Rebel
Well,
Moon.
Zack Snyder. He's gonna
I
give
just
you
need to
all these
bring it out on
cuts.
Blu-ray. It
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
just come out on Blu-ray, bro.
But that's
That's what
but
I
yeah,
need.
but Zack Snyder, he's
Yeah,
pre-planning that shit. He's setting up for
oh,
those cuts. Yeah,
yeah,
he always setting it up for the cut. He want to do that shit. That's his style. So I'm not
he,
surprised.
he stays in the cut.
He stayed in the cut. He said we just did the first temp mix for the preview part 1 and it's very exciting. It's a big huge space. They probably don't want me to say this. Star Warsy rebels against the evil empire thing over all sorts of different worlds. It's really fun. There's going to be 2 films. I think we're mixing that from June to February and there's also going to be extended R-rated versions of each of the 2 films. So there's be one of each. So we're going to be mixing 4 different features. So yeah, so 4 different versions basically. So part 1 and 2 will each have 2 parts.
I was
Because
just about to say that. I said it's gonna be like three different versions.
yeah,
I was just about to say that. Damn.
yeah, four total. So based on what Koyamoya said, it's clear that they plan to release 4 films instead of just parts 1 and 2. Each of them will be getting an extended R-rated cut on top of the original PG-13 cut of the films. Man, I think they should do the fucking R-rated one in black and white though, like they did Logan. They gave us a black and white version. Give me the black and white version, bro, because that black and white version shit is fucking dope to me.
Yeah,
So my
yeah.
Um,
question is, how long is this movie? It's a Jack Snyder movie. How long is this movie?
yeah, I don't know if the running time's been
Because if we get
announced.
the extended cut of what I know is at least 2 hours, at least.
Well,
If we get the extended
extended cut. The extended cut of the DC joint was 4 hours, and that shit was bomb. Me and Stu watched that motherfucker. It shit felt like it was 2 hours. It was so good.
cut.
Mm.
Is it? I always be sitting there watching, and I'll be like, damn, movie long as hell. I always do that.
Uh, but it said this is interesting since a film enthusiast myself. I'd love to see both versions and see what makes them different from each other. Will the PG-13 cut have shots that are completely? Hang on, I know somebody keep popping in here. I knew I thought. Yeah, Sada. Hey, Sada.
Hi. Hello.
Welcome.
Uh,
Hello, hello.
Welcome. Yeah, did you pop in a little bit ago?
No, I'm just popping in now.
Oh, okay. All right, because I heard the little tone a little while ago, but
Oh,
yeah, we were just talking about Rebel Moon and
mm.
the fact that they are making Zack Snyder's making an extended cut for parts 1 and 2 that are going to be R-rated. So PG-13. So it says he said this is interesting since blah blah blah. We said, will the PG-13 cut have shots that are completely different from the R-rated cut, or does the R-rated cut just have more that can't be seen on the PG-13 cut? Since it's being filmed simultaneously, this can have interesting results, especially if storytelling is told slightly different from one version to another. I think that's like really optimistic. I think it's just gonna be they're gonna be more cuss words and violence in the R-rated extended cut, basically. Like different cuts, like or different shots he's talking about, different angles and shit. So like filming it, two different cameras filming at the same time, giving us two different versions, that's fucking crazy. That would be nuts. I don't see that happening. But wishful thinking, I think. Um Rebel Moon is inspired by Star Wars. We know that right there, since Rebel Moon is the teaser and a few pictures that Netflix and Snyder released a few months ago. We still relatively no idea what the films could possibly turn out to be. I, for one, am excited to see what Snyder can make since Star Wars, especially the films, haven't really addressed my sci-fi cravings. Yeah, no, they have not. All we can go on for now is that Rebel Moon is inspired by Star Wars. It did start out as a script that Zack Snyder worked on for the Disney franchise. I told you. He said he did it because he is a fan of the space opera, and he even pitched it to Lucasfilm, which didn't move forward. Not long after Snyder revealed that he made a script, Netflix was quick to grab the opportunity to use Snyder's work as part of their streaming content. They reworked the script to be its own universe. At first, it was planned to be a series, but decided that they would make it into a two-part film instead. Yeah, and I'm looking at the quality of it. Let's say I'm a real big like quality guy, like y'all already know. Like I can't watch TV shows that are network. I can't fucking do it. I can't. If it just looks like it's a play or some shit that's being filmed, I don't know. What do you think of Rebel Moon releasing an R-rated version on top of the PG-13 version? Let us know your thoughts and comments. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But like I said, man, I would prefer that R-rated extended cut to be black and white or some shit different in some way, not just this one's rated R. Like, you know, make it interesting, make it make sense.
Mhm. Um,
It's like the R-rated version, the exact same movie, except they throw in the word "fuck" every now and again.
Right,
Deal.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Like one extra scene. They don't add nothing to the story. Kind of thing.
Yeah, man, it's not. I'm not with it.
well, he's gonna have another cut after that for the DVDs or what have you, or the Blu-rays. It's gonna have all
Right.
sorts of stuff, you know.
Well, we did get some cool fucking footage or some footage. Not I wish, but some set photos from Deadpool 3. And a couple of the X-Men cameos, shit like that. Quite a few Deadpool 3 set photos have found their way to the internet this week. There's a big gallery comprised with 50 shots that you can find on Reddit and shit. Obviously I don't, show, but you can here, let me see if I can throw them up here. But yeah, a lot of the photos are familiar. We've seen a few, and right now we can see like stand-ins for Toad, a couple of characters like more survivors from the Void, um, a lot of shit. It's pretty sure that's not rated Park. I don't think that's Ray Park as Toad, the guy that played Toad in the old movie. Um, looks more like Tyler Man. And it doesn't look like Leaf Schreiber as Sabretooth either. But here, let me see if I can show them to y'all. Yeah, yeah. Bop, 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 bop. There we go. Can y'all see them yet? Hold on. Nope. There we go.
Mm.
That's Saber. Oh, that's the first dude that played. That's the guy that played him in the movie. That's not Liev Schreiber. You remember the old Fox Sabretooth movie, the first
Was
Sabretooth?
wrestler Taylor Maine or something or whatever
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever. I think it's Taylor Maine.
The guy that played him in the old X-Men movie, the first
Yeah, the
one.
first X-Men
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. That's who it looks like to me. I don't know who that is.
Somebody dead in the motherfucker.
Or he laid out. Um, but yeah, that looks Toad right there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know who the steampunk looking motherfucker over here on the right is. Looks like Logan's motorcycle. I don't know. Looks like Cyclops is maybe one of them. There has a gun on it. Has guns on it.
Are they gonna do the Reavers? Are they gonna bring the Reavers in this shit?
I don't know about that.
That'd be crazy if they had the Reavers in this shit.
Oh, like this shit, this machine right here. Yeah,
All
that looked
that
like
shit
looked like
crazy.
it looked like some Reaver shit, but no, I don't think it is. That would be dope. But that looks like a satellite actually in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah, some type of fake satellite looking shit.
but with the steampunk looking guys, like
Yeah.
guys, that's how to read.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be
That would be dope.
hell yeah.
No, that is. I don't know what that is.
What
Hmm.
the fuck?
I don't know what's
I'm not
going
really
on.
sure what's supposed to
Yeah,
be
some
happening.
shit wild going on though.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That is some Mad Max shit that Sabretooth is on top of. That car looking thing. That is some Reaver type shit.
Yeah.
That would be ill.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I bet you he wrecks that shit.
Uh,
Bet you.
Yeah,
Right?
And it blows
that's
up
getting destroyed.
every time.
First take, best take, because I don't know if they could build that again.
But here's my concern. He doesn't even have. He has the yellow suit on, but he got
Yeah.
his face out. He don't have the mask on.
I hope
They
you don't.
never
I
have
hope
the
you
freaking mask. Never.
that we've got pictures of him in it now, but I'm mad that he's wearing it personally. I don't want him to, I don't want because my thing is this. I want the new guy. I want the next guy that plays Wolverine to be the first guy to wear the mask, and I have a very specific reason why. Because first of all, Hugh Jackman did these, 10, 11, whatever movies, refused to wear the mask. He was too pretty. He's too pretty to put the mask on. Fuck that. And so now when he finally kills the character off, Logan, that's the end. He's dead. Now he's coming back for this maybe even campy, maybe multiversal. I don't know why he's and now he's gonna wear the mask in a Deadpool multiverse, not really real kind of situation movie. Like it's like I feel you should, the next guy that plays Wolverine, he's got a lot to compete against. First of all, he's got Hugh Jackman to compete against. So right away, people are gonna be like, "Oh, he's no Hugh Jackman." But if he was the first guy to wear, if he was the first guy to wear the mask, that would give him something that could make they could be like, well, he's the first guy to wear the mask, though, right? That's Wolverine, right? You see what I'm saying? It would give him something to help compete. That's my only thing. But
if we're gonna be
doesn't
honest,
matter now.
if we're gonna be honest about it, the only thing that separates people from Hugh Jackman is the haircut. Wolverine's haircut. You pay anybody look, what you call it, son? He plays in Hawaii 5-0. He was in the what was that thing that heist film? Ocean's 11. Remember the young guys that
Mm-hmm.
they were starting to riot over in Mexico?
Right.
That guy. I forgot. Duval's. I forget his last name, but it's what you call it,
I
Duval's
thought
son.
you were talking about Casey Affleck.
No. The other one. The
The
other
one
guy.
that
That was
his
his whole
boy with the blonde buzz cut.
yeah, he was scruffy. He's short too.
Yeah, he's
What you call it,
Steve
Duval's son?
Kahn's son.
Oh, James Caan's son.
James Kahn's son. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
I think he can be Wolverine to me.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at his face. Look at it. The grimace.
Oh, him.
I think
I don't know.
yeah. I mean, of course, he got to bulk up more or what have you, but I think he can be Wolverine. He got the height. He's
I
not
mean, body wise, I get what you're saying, but
because
face wise, I can't do it.
they put he looks scruffy and I
I
think he can do
can't
a
do it.
Wolverine because
I
Hugh
can't do it.
Jackman,
I'd have to see a
Jackman
fan
is 6
test.
feet or whatever.
Wait. Scott Conn.
Yeah.
Taron Egerton is who they might be talking about to play
Oh,
Wolverine.
hell no.
That's
He makes
crazy as
less
fuck.
sense than this guy.
Yeah. So who knows? But
Yeah, but James Caan's son, that was when they was talking about doing the X-Men, I was like, he should be Wolverine because one, he's a hairy little dude. You know,
he's too blonde though for me. I don't know. He's too
I mean,
blonde.
if they dye the hair, maybe some major tweaks. Maybe
You
I'm
gotta
looking
put-
at it now. I can kind of see it a little bit.
yeah, he
I can
looks
see
crazy.
it.
Not
It's
me,
like-
man. He's
And
got
if
his
it's like
facial
shorter
hair is
hair,
blonde.
like some brown hair, because there's this shot. He has like
You'd have
brown
to
hair,
dye
really
his
short.
beard.
And he
Dyed
has this-
beards look like shit. You know, like
Listen, this is
Hollywood,
where
just
the
for men
tweaks
beard.
come
Hollywood,
in.
though.
That's where the tweaks come in. You know, you just
Yeah. It could be done. Look at this Reaver shit though.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're doing the Reavers, man.
That's crazy if they do, bro. That'd be so dope, man. But that's a lot. I don't know where they're going with this. There's the Jack man. The sleeves are throwing me off too because
From what I heard, but this was like last year before the strike, what they were writing was Deadpool, Wolverine start fighting. When they start fighting through timelines. And
yeah,
that's when all the other X-Men, everybody pops up as they start fighting through.
yeah.
I can see that.
The different actors from the different Fox X-Men movies and
They
shit
are
coming
doing it,
in.
bro.
The number one thing that made me really angry, and I want to watch it for this, and at the same time, I'll be so disappointed if I see it. Is they had Channing Tatum as
Oh, Gambit.
Gambit.
Yes, bring it back. Oh
They
man,
are
that was a
doing the
time.
Reavers, bro. They
You
gotta
think?
be doing them. Yeah, because the girl, if you look at the other photo with the girl with the hood, that's like the Lady whatever her name is,
What, Lady Deathstrike?
with the long nails or whatever.
Lady
Yeah,
Deathstrike?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who that could be.
Could be.
I would like to see her again.
Yeah.
She only had like that one appearance, and
Yeah.
it was very short lived. So
Oh, that's a stunt double right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or it's a multiversal version. Cause there's gonna be different versions of these guys.
Because look what's sticking out in him or whatever.
He's got sword going in this way and coming out this way.
For him in the yellow
Crazy.
suit.
Yeah.
Those shoulder pads are not working for me.
He got a skin condition or what have you, right? Skin cancer or something, so he can't be really exposed.
Oh, didn't
That's
know
why he's wearing
that.
sleeves. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't mind the
Yeah,
sleeves.
yeah.
It's just the shoulder pads. I'm not. They feel so bulky.
Too cartoony.
Bothered by the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads throw me off.
Yeah, they want him to look like they're trying to make him look like a comic book. Yeah.
Is he without a head? Why is he wearing a green screen mask?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, green screen.
Getting decapitated. Yeah. Sabretooth loses his dome. And look, there's Deadpool holding up the wig.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's
Decapitated.
getting smaller. Yeah, see.
still be running around with no head.
Right. Still performing one action like a samurai.
Mm. Yeah, the last. Yeah.
Mhm. Running at each other. So this confirms that they're bringing back the Fox characters and shit.
Hopefully, it's just like a final send off, and then we move on.
Oh shit!
I feel like we don't really need an extended stay, but
My man got
Yeah.
the Wailing T-shirt on though. Yeah,
oh, that's funny.
right.
Yeah.
Check out the head though. That looks crazy.
Hmm.
That's fucked up.
Domed him. Domed him.
Deadpool and Wolverine kill the Sony universe. Huh?
Oh,
Mhm.
honestly, that might be what happens. They just boom, done. We're or the Fox universe, we're done. It's
Yeah, the
over.
Fox universe. Yeah.
We never have to see him again.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And I don't know how. I guess
Yeah, Reynolds is like, who's taking a picture of us right now?
Right. And he probably already know. Oh yeah, put that. You get my good side.
yeah,
Yeah.
like hey.
Twitter.
Oh, I feel like he's a full enthusiast of all this for sure.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he loves this shit.
He was born to play Deadpool. Ever
Yeah.
since he did that one, what was the movie? His first movie. He was in college or whatever. I forget his name.
Oh,
Oh,
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder. Ever since he
Yeah.
did Van Wilder, because
Yeah.
he was like a smart ass in everything.
Yeah.
Since then, he was a smart ass person. Like,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Hmm.
Smart ass.
Yeah.
I
well,
was so sick in his first appearance. They said, "Don't talk." Like, what? What do you mean?
yeah. I mean, when he was, but when he was Wade Wilson before he became Deadpool in that movie in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, he was tripping.
Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, he could really. They could have. He could have been Deadpool.
Like Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, Wesley Snipes, Blade. Sometimes it's right. When it's right, it's right.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes
Mhm.
is Blade
Yeah.
and can still play Blade.
Yeah.
Oh, wink, wink.
You know?
Nah, they won't do that.
No, they're not.
Because he's trying to get that movie off the ground. So
Yeah, if they
Petition for Wesley
if they
Snipes.
say Wesley Snipes is now Blade, that movie would be you'll get a lot of people.
That would be a win-win for them.
Hell
That'd be
yeah.
a
hell
win-win
yeah.
for them
Win-win
because
chicken
remember
dinner.
Blade ages. Remember Blade ages like a regular human. So why did you have to cast a younger Blade unless you want
Exactly.
to reboot it, remake it, or something? But if you could
They
continue with that
rebooting it.
story, and like I said,
Yeah.
right, you got to because like I said, Blade ages like a regular human. So to have an older Wesley Snipes playing Blade is actually comic book accurate. It's actually.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
They could have made Mahershala Ali Brother Voodoo or something like that.
Yeah.
They could have did. There's a lot, man. They could have did. They just
Which
don't
one?
do it.
Over here? Yeah.
That movie's
Yeah, I've been on the
struggling
chase
right now.
on the Voodoo for a
Golly.
while. Like he was he teaches at the that thing the Strange Academy. He was Social Supreme for a little bit.
Who?
Brother Voodoo, black dude.
Mhm.
Oh,
My
brother,
sister did.
mm.
Yeah, he's Social Supreme for a little bit, and then he's like a necromancer or something. He can bring people back from the dead. I've been chasing him for a while, but I don't see him popping up in any movies anytime soon. It'd be weird if he did.
Yeah. Mahershala Ali though, the Blade, I mean, obviously the Blade movie has dealt with a lot of delays and bullshit since its initial announcement, but Mahershala Ali surprisingly is still optimistic about the project, and he was really complaining about it at first, but in a very recent interview he said or he talked to Entertainment Weekly about Netflix's Leave the World Behind. Ali gave the update on the super vampire movie. He said, we're working on it. He said, that's the best I could tell you. And I'm really encouraged with the direction of the project. I think we'll be back at it relatively soon. And the film was originally announced 2019 without a release date or a director. um the Mogul Mowgli filmmaker, Bassam Tariq, was later hired to be the director, and the Watchmen's Stacey Osei writing the screenplay. And then at San Diego Comic Con in 2022, Blade set a release date of 2020 of November 3rd, which obviously didn't happen. And then um, Tariq departed the project. Then the Lovecraft Country director Jan Dimanji was supposed to do the directing, and then it was delayed to September of 2024. And then pre-production halted in May, of course, with the strikes and shit. And then Marvel reshuffled its upcoming slate, leaving Blade with a release date of November 7th, 2025 now. And following numerous drafts and screenwriters, the writer Michael Green, who did Logan and Alien Covenant, is now doing the project. So if you liked Logan, which I thought was fucking one of the better movies that, X-Men related before. So that's good news. And then also the star Aaron Pierre, Delroy Lindo, and Mia Goth are supposed to be, yeah. And what's he said? Mahershala Ali said, he said, "I'm sincerely encouraged in terms of where things are at and who's on board and who's leading the way as far as the writing of the script and the directing and all that. So that's the extent of what I can tell you." So yeah, I mean, I
Flint was-
thought yeah, I thought that they were kind of like done with it. I thought they just weren't gonna do it.
So Langley Flint, it's not happening, right? Langley Flint in
No,
a
no,
high
Nah,
no.
it's still going. But
No,
if
he's
he's
saying they're
excited
working.
about it,
Yeah,
that's a new thing because he's been very vocal on how shit things have been thus
We're
far.
going to get
right.
we're going to get a new Spawn movie before we get a new Blade movie.
That'll be something.
Yeah. But no, but he said they're very much still doing it. They're very much working on it. Obviously with all the strikes and shit, they haven't been, but he said they are still doing it. So what he said basically, he said he's encouraged in terms of where things are at and who's on board and who's leading the way as far as the writing of the script and the directing and all of that. And then he said we are working on it. That's the best I could tell you. I'm really encouraged with the direction of the project. I think we'll be back at it relatively soon. Um, referring to the strike and shit, that they.
Check it out. It'll be strange. Blade created a way and saved Marvel so they can create the MCU.
Yeah,
Blade movie may save the MCU once again.
that'd be crazy.
But it
But-
might be a full circle.
It may,
Oh,
it
Yeah,
may-
right.
I'm just gonna say
That
I
movie-
don't like the way he looks as Blade. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh,
Mahershala
no.
Ali.
It's just like
I
whoever
think he could be a
plays
good Blade.
Wolverine.
I like the casting.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
whoever plays
it's better than
Wolverine,
Sticky
that
Fingers.
energy feels it's the same thing. It like it's that I don't know. I just don't like how he looks. I'm not saying he can't play the part. I'm just saying, I got my eyes are set to like a Wesley type character, and he doesn't match that
Well.
aesthetic for me when he's
That's fair.
Mm,
as
Mm.
Blade.
Well, I think Mahershala, his character, the way he played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage,
That was okay.
I think his stature and stuff, he can play Blade. I know he can play Blade. He can
Oh
definitely,
yeah,
because he has that serious tone with him. Remember, Blade wasn't like on no corny, funny shit. He was
nah,
just serious.
very serious. Yeah,
Yeah.
very serious.
I think Mahershala has that. That's why I guess that's why they picked him.
Mm.
And his facial structure is just like Wesley Snipes.
What about your boy? What about your boy that played Hawkman?
He,
No, Aldous?
nah. He's
no,
Black Panther all the
I
way.
don't think he would be a good Blade.
Aldous Hodge is Black Panther all the way. They need to recast Black
I
Panther.
would love that.
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah, I would love that.
I be texting a homie. I'm like, yo, you need this, man.
All right.
This will redeem that black Adam crap. You don't have to worry about that shit no more. You're Black Panther, bro.
That shit was horrible, bro. I was super excited. I was like, yo, he's that. I was like, he's dope. He was in and I still can't think of the show, but it was
I was like, you couldn't tell me Hawkman wasn't about to blow up. I got all my Hawkman songs. I'm like, yo, you need to hawk up this Hawkman train.
I mean, it's
That
great that
movie
he
came
got
out, and I
into.
was like, yo, I'm getting off the train. I'm sorry.
But
I
I
you
see
think
where
know,
it's
it's
going.
called The Hill. I think it's called The Hill.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's a show called The Hill with Kevin Bacon. Watch that. That's your boy, the Hawkeye dude.
Yeah,
He's very good in that. That's what made me. That's what made me excited when I heard he was going to be a Black Adam. I was like, oh, that dude will be good as that. But they gave him corny ass lines, and he
but you
looked like
know,
an asshole.
with the Hawkman thing, I'm glad he got into that realm where they can see him playing a superhero or a villain
Yeah.
now. He's
But
not.
he's got a bad stain on him now, though.
Well, it's
No,
not.
but
I
he's
mean, the
he has
Rock got a
potential.
stain. Yeah,
Why?
it's the potential of okay, who are we looking at? Well, Aldous Hodge played Hawkman, and they didn't utilize him properly. But I know he can do Black
Yeah.
Panther. He's in that talk, and the dude is crazy. He's like a mutant, man. This guy works out every fucking day.
If he do, I'll eat crow. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it'll happen. I,
Ah,
I don't. Think
But if they redo it,
it would be dope, but I don't think it will happen.
I'll be at the premiere though. I'll be like, yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
told you my boy, he's there.
Hey,
At the premiere like
hell
this.
yeah.
I'll be like, still fuck Marvel though. Nah.
Honestly, I thought they were gonna do more with that movie, but I really didn't go in expecting much. But I was real hype on the Hawkman.
Yeah, you know,
That's what we got. Okay.
marketing.
Doing this now.
Oh man.
Yeah. But I mean,
But yeah, I mean, still said he wasn't no pushover. Still said he wasn't no pushover though. So him as Black Panther.
Yeah, I feel like he has that commanding presence that's like needed for Black Panther. Like he could, I think he could like really hold his own. I
Yeah.
just want to see it.
yeah, he's definitely
I can see that.
could embody that character.
there's only a few
He's
guys.
got the vibe, but unfortunately, I don't think that it will happen just because of. Honestly, man, I don't know. I think he's really I think he said he was like had a bad taste in his mouth about the whole thing, so he might not want to do no more superhero shit. I don't know, but
That's understandable.
it's
But it's just
Might have been like a
whose
behind
fault
the
was it?
scenes
It wasn't
thing.
his fault. It
nah, it wasn't his fault at all. But
You know,
I think that's his point. It's like he had no control, and he's worried about that, and he's right because if like a lot of them actors, they don't have no control over a lot of that shit. Sometimes,
he was working with The Rock. Imagine being on set with Rock.
Yeah,
And you
a
want
known
control over what?
egomaniac.
Yeah.
And-
Ugh.
I mean, at the same time though, them lines were so fucking corny, bro, and the delivery, it just was so bad to me. Some of them lines that he had to do, and you could have said
Ain't
something,
wrong.
bro. You could have said something. You could have been like, this sounds corny. I can't tell. There's a lot of there's so many actors in so many situations where they're like, these lines don't sound right. They sound like shit, or it sounds corny, or it doesn't work, and they tweak them and they fix them.
Yes, and you hear that from A-list actors. You hear that from people who kind of
But
have
then
that
there-
pull. I don't think Aldous Hodge had that type of pull to even. Say
I don't
something.
think he did. No, I don't think he did. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he does. I don't think he would. He just doesn't. He's
Then
not
there are
that.
times
Doesn't hold
he'll
that
just
kind of
get
clout.
out of the way and be like, "This is how the movie's written. That's the script. This is the script you have, and do the movie." You feel
Now,
what I'm saying?
Sad.
But it's also a difference because remember, he's playing a side character. Now, a Black Panther character, you're the lead character.
Yeah.
You're needed. So you would have that pull.
He should have some more pull in that situation. Yeah.
But as a side character, you have no pull whatsoever.
Especially in a movie with The Rock, but at the same time, because he's
For real.
taking the
That's
whole
what
thing
I'm
over.
saying. He
That's
went
why
to that
John
trailer and
Cena
was like,
and
"This is corny," and they were like, "Shut the fuck up," and told him to leave. He's like, "You better just be happy to be here. You're in a movie with The Rock. Shut up. Nobody cares."
Oh
It's written
no!
things
And that movie
go on.
bombed.
Yeah, that
What are you
movie.
gonna say? What was he gonna say?
Bombed. I don't know why they think The Rock is like, just a box office winner. Like, no, it's been proven.
Well,
So it's like,
Like
I tell you
anybody.
why they think that, because Arnold Schwarzenegger passed The Rock.
Yeah,
ah,
in that movie, when he walked
Yeah,
by him, he's like, it's on you now or some
yeah,
shit.
it's your turn now. It's on.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. I thought that was cool though, because that movie was underrated as fuck. I
Yeah, it
can't
was
think of it.
really
It's
good.
called Rundown.
The Rundown, yeah, it was really good, man. Yeah, I
It's
had
good as
what you
fuck.
call it,
But don't
Reyes.
nobody know nothing about it.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
had what's his name, Reyes in it. I keep forgetting his first name, but the he was the leader of the people in the woods.
Yeah, Ernie,
Yeah,
yeah,
Ernie Reyes.
Ernie,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, dope martial artist.
hell yeah,
Like,
phenomenal. Yeah, that kid, he was in Red Sonja as a little kid. He had that show, Sidekicks.
Last Dragon,
Yep, Last Dragon. Yep, yep,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, like that
Surf Ninjas and shit. He had a little franchise. He was doing something recently too.
yeah,
But um,
yeah,
we
but
got some news about Batman Brave and the Bold too. Which is cool.
oh,
The I know you saw it. She's not happy, but Peter Gunn and
Start around.
Peter Gunn. I'm thinking of the rapper Peter Gunn.
that's what I was saying. Peter
Yeah,
Gunn.
Wait a minute.
Peter
I'm
Gunn,
I'm
James Gunn.
excited. Aren't they introducing Damian Wayne?
Yeah,
I
James. Yeah,
gave me away.
Sada hates Damian Wayne.
What?
Oh.
I am
Damian
not a
Wayne
fan of
is
Damon. I
hardcore.
just don't like him. I feel like he's
Oh,
not written well, and like he's so annoying. And it's not even like to the point of like being entertaining. It's just grating to watch him and read him.
he just sounded like fuck that guy. But so many people I know are like that. They're like, yeah, Damian Wayne, woo, woo, yeah.
I just feel like he hasn't had any type of like like as far as like a better personality. I just feel like it's not there. I'm not here for it. But that's me. That's just
He's a
me.
brat. You don't like the brat.
I'm telling you, many people have that opinion. Me personally, I'm excited to see him come to the screen. But everybody else is just like, yo, that little boy.
I like him.
Somewhere, like,
Yeah, I like
He's my favorite Robin. I fuck with him. That's yeah.
like
Yeah.
Shadow Ninja and everything.
Yeah, he's a dope martial artist, bro.
He's just a smaller, like Batman can't really he can't really chastise him because he's already him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really say nothing to this little dude because he's even iller. Like
he is, and he does have an attitude, and like I get Sada's point, like he is conceited and shit. He knows who he is, and he does, but he is dope. He does go toe to toe with some bad motherfuckers. But yeah, like Gunn said in a post on the threads on a threads thing, the script to Superman Legacy is 99.9% done, adding I'm always challenging or shit, I'm always changing small things, but it's essentially done since well before the strike. Another fan asked the DC Studios co-head if he could debunk a rumored cast list for the Batman and Robin film, with Gunn replying, "There is no script yet. Official, it's false." He said Superman Legacy, or what he said, thanks to efforts of our talented crew who never lost faith during the longest strikes in Hollywood history and who never left their foot off the pedal, continuing to barrel forward, creating the most amazing character and set designs I've seen in my entire career. Superman Legacy will be making the original planned release date of July 11th, 2025. And that's a big fucking statement from James Gunn. We know his catalog, and for him to say that this is the most amazing character and set designs I've ever seen in his career is a big statement. Who knows if it's smoke or what, but other cast members are Nathan Fillion, Isabella Merced, and Edie Gathegi. Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and who else? The authority, the engineer. But Superman Legacy, tells the story of Superman's journey to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as Clark Kent of Smallville. But this will be, a less dark, more truth, justice in the American way kind of Superman. But the casting for the Brave and the Bold, the Batman, has not started. Yeah, he said he does not have a script yet. But Anthony Muschietti is set to direct the film, and yes, it will have Batman and his son Damian Wayne as Robin.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope.
I think so.
Because it's a
Forgive
different
me if
take.
I'm
Like,
wrong, but in the books, is it Damian Wayne, Dick Grayson's Robin?
What?
No,
Am I wrong?
no,
Yeah,
no. Damian Wayne is the product of Talia Ghul and
Yeah,
Bruce
it's
Wayne.
Batman's son.
But
yeah.
she never, right, she never let him know that she was pregnant
Okay.
until after some mess went down with the League of Shadows. But Batman found out that he had got trained in the way of the League, and he was supposed to be the successor to his grandfather. But then something happened, and that never happened. So she
Yeah.
asked him to keep him. He has all the skills of Batman and his grandfather,
Ra's
but
al Ghul.
he doesn't have the same attitude that his father
Right.
has about. Right, he doesn't have the same.
He's not humble.
He's more like in between his grandfather and no, but he's more between his grandfather and Batman. He's a spoiled brat
Yeah.
because he was born in a kind of like a royalty, but also his
yeah,
dad is rich.
Little rich kid.
But at the same time, his views on crime and punishing criminals is way different than Batman's. He's more like,
he
look,
was
let's just kill
killing.
these jokers and get it over with, or
Exactly.
punish them, cut their arm off and punish them so they'll never commit crimes again. Like he's more of that type, but he's very, very
Yeah,
bratty, and
yeah,
he defies Batman a lot. Him and Batman has gotten into it verbally a lot, but him and Dick Grayson get into it even more. Like him and Dick Grayson get into it to the point where he first came there, he couldn't beat Dick, and then he started beating him, because he learns to adapt. That's what he was taught
He
to
learns
do,
to beat Dick.
and
Yeah, he learns to beat Dick.
right, he learned, yeah, and then he learned to beat him. Once he started beating him and started getting with him, then his attitude changed, and then him and Dick kind of like will have like little pissing contests, verbally.
Once he started
But a
beating
lot
Dick.
of fans hate, yeah, a lot of fans
yeah.
hate Damian Wayne. They can't stand him. They don't like
Pause.
him. They just
I'm
hate
gonna
that
say
Joker,
pause
bro.
forever now.
Yeah, they just hate that Joker. And they've even talked about killing him off. A lot of people write in and say, "Why don't you just kill Damian Wayne? Just get him out of here." Like Sada.
Yeah.
Sada probably dropped
Oh
a
no,
couple
hey,
letters.
not me.
Kill him.
Hey, listen,
Sada probably
not
dropped
me.
a couple letters. Kill him. Let him go. We don't want him here.
But
But
Damian Wayne's thing is he'll let them know straight off. I'm the best Robin. Period.
Yeah.
All those other Robins.
He has no humility at all.
Yeah.
no,
So that's
none.
his
But the
attitude. I'm the
fans,
best Robin.
but the
Period.
fans love Tim Drake. Tim Drake is the best Robin to the fans.
he gets
That's
no
what the
love,
fans
man.
But Damian,
Tim, they don't know what to do with
a
Tim.
lot of people, a lot of people
I
like
don't
Tim
know.
Drake though, Sada. They love him.
I don't
They
mind Tim
do.
Drake. They just never know what to do with him, so he just ends up being a mess. Like I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of DC shit, that Suicide Squad movie, they might do a director's cut. Stu, I know you like that one. The one with the DCU with the
Oh, the
Joker with the
2016?
tattoos on his forehead with the
God
silver
sake.
teeth.
That was dope. That was
He's
Stu
been
dope.
loves
around
that
That was
for
that was
stuff.
years.
that was
I
dope.
like
Yeah,
that
I liked
Joker.
that. Jared Leto played a good Joker. That was dope, bro.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
like
take
that
nothing
Joker.
away from that. Yeah, I did too. They should have kept that Joker. That was the best Joker ever.
well, it's a rare
Star
opinion.
has it, right?
No, it's a rare held opinion, but it's I've heard it before. They're not the first people that I've heard say they like that Joker.
Yes,
It's
it
rare, but I've heard it.
It's
Some
a good take on a different angle of Joker. I mean, Joker's sadistic and crazy and maniacal, but this one he got like some flavor with him. He's like, yo,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
running
yeah.
this shit, man. I'm out
Yeah,
here
yeah.
running.
He was
I'm
entertaining. He was
all
like
the
a mob
mobs.
boss and a Joker
Yeah,
at the same time, bro. He was the
exactly.
man.
He's like, I run all the mobs. Ain't nobody fucking with me. I got the guns.
he was
Going at it.
I don't know. I felt it was kind of like corny, but
Ain't no killing.
he said, but the director David Ayer has long been vocal about his cut of Suicide Squad. He said the DC. He said it was ripped to pieces. That's his quote. Ripped to pieces. But in the 7 years since the theatrical version released, there's been no sign of the direct, when the director's cut was surfaced, or if it did. But um in a new 2024 issue of Total Film, I guess he said that it will come out. He said, I think so. He said, I'm going to be hopeful. There are a lot of people that are invested in certain narratives that don't want to see the light of day. So there's an immense political headwind against it, because if that cut were made public, the cowardliness and the whole just general shittiness of how the film's been treated, and how the actors have had this great work and they've been done to and they done taken away, that narrative blows up once people see this movie. But it's coming. Something's going to happen. Something's going to be revealed. The truth always comes out. It always comes out. End quote. So he,
That's rough. That's kind of rough.
I mean,
that's crazy, but
That's
yeah.
kind of
I
rough,
can
man.
see that the film has probably been like doctored to hell, because that was right off the heels of Batman v Superman, which did not perform how WB thought it would. So like, as soon as
Mm,
Suicide Squad, like when that first trailer came out, and the tone was just wildly different from what we got in theaters, because they went in
right.
and just changed the entire movie. So I'm all for him seeing his vision. Am I going to personally watch it? No, I'm not personally interested, but like, I hope he gets it out, I guess. Like, I don't, he should see his vision come to light, I guess. I feel like it's not that much footage, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, look at Zack
I do.
Snyder.
It might be. You never know. I do
We
know
don't
they
know.
cut out a lot of
Yeah.
things that the Joker did. I do know they cut out a lot of Joker scenes.
They had to
Now,
cut out.
They did say that. They cut out a lot of his scenes,
yeah,
and Harley's scenes
yeah,
as
they
well.
did cut out
They
a lot of
had to,
scenes. They cut out.
and him saying that it's ripped to shreds or whatever. It's gotta been, because that
Hey,
movie was fucking
But you
ass,
know
bro.
what?
I mean,
If we really
That
sit
movie
down and
was
listen,
shite.
remember all the
all the
actors
plot and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
kept saying that. They all kept saying we filmed a better movie than that. It was like, what happened
Yeah.
to the movie we filmed? All of them was complaining. All the actors that did Justice
Yeah.
League was like, we filmed. And then they
Mm.
released the Snyder cut, and people went crazy over it, which meant they
Yeah,
should have just
that
released that to
sold
begin
more
with.
than the other. Yeah, yeah, better
Yeah,
views than the original.
and
I
went
just think
straight to video. And so
I should have. I think instead of them doing the Birds of Prey in between the both Suicide Squads,
Mhm.
I thought they should have went Harley Quinn, that Joker and Harley Quinn together in a movie. I thought that would have been a better look. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In the whole scheme of things, and then you can add elements of the ladies from the Birds of Prey or whatever along the way or whatever. How but that chemistry between them two, Leto and old girl, that would have been crazy. Them on a murder spree. Oh,
Yeah.
like a
Mhm.
little
Stop 'em.
segue between Suicide Squad and like a little intermediate movie
Yeah.
Yeah,
that like
Because at the
dives
end of that
further
movie,
into.
he broke her out. Or I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
someone broke someone out. But yeah.
yeah.
yeah, but they would have went the cutesy route. It would have been like like a love couple type movie.
Yeah,
And
but
he would
a
have
murderous couple. Think of
Naturally born killers.
yeah, think of that natural born killers
Yeah.
on some wow shit. That
That
would
would
be
be
Word.
from
dope.
Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn to Natural Born Killers,
Ooh.
Harley
Yeah.
Quinn, and then you go to Birds of Prey.
Oh God. If they wanted to do that, I don't understand why they didn't do Gotham Sirens, which is an established team with
Yeah.
her, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. Why would you put
Yeah.
her in Birds of Prey, which she has nothing to do with? So it's
That's
just
a
like,
Batgirl thing. Birds of Prey.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's an Oracle thing.
Didn't make
And
any
Yeah,
sense.
Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle. Yeah, yeah.
that was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like that movie really didn't have the best legs to stand on. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was entertaining though. I mean, but yeah,
I mean, they had
whatever.
what was it? The Black
Yeah,
Mask.
it was cute.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was the villain, Black Mask.
Yeah, yeah.
But real
Well, the
fast,
DC definitely shines with animated shit, and the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 is about to drop.
Oh,
I
yeah, when is
know.
that coming out? They dropped the trailer for that. I'm surprised they're doing that already. That feels a little
Yeah.
too soon. Like they literally, I don't really know much about like the animated Tomorrowverse. At least with the New 52,
Right.
I felt like I was in it to win it, even though a lot of that stuff was mid for me. But like I was in it to win it. Like I feel
Yeah.
like we didn't spend enough time with these people in the Tomorrowverse, and now we're getting this big Crisis on Infinite Earths thing. Which okay, I guess.
Yeah, I mean the current crop of movies, the Tomorrowverse, started in 2020 with Superman, the Man of Tomorrow, and according to its official synopsis, Justice League: Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part One, is the beginning of the end of the Tomorrowverse story arc. The Tomorrowverse is a shared universe, which the launch of which followed the events of Justice League: Dark Apocalypse War. There's reboot the animated line, which is a line which had been kickstarted with Justice League Flashpoint Paradox in 2013. But that timeline, colloquially called the DC animated movie universe, the DCAMU, was itself a rebranding of the DC universe animated original movies, which were originally, designed to be more standalone movies that didn't really have this shared continuity universe. And Crisis on Infinite Earths, DC revealed that their multiverse, once again, had once been at one time was a single universe, one that was split into infinite fragments or segments, at the dawn of time. A powerful being called the Monitor was there to guard it, but he has a dark component, the Anti-Monitor, and who watches over the antimatter universe. And the Anti-Monitor learns that he can overwhelm some of the monitor's universes with antimatter, and it will give him more power. And so while weakening, his counterpart at the same time. And so he sets out to destroy all the worlds of the multiverse, expanding his empire and just, crushing all those who oppose him. And then, as the multiverse begins to disintegrate, survivors of the final remaining worlds come together to make that last stand at the dawn of time. And the Tomorrowverse version of Crisis, because Crisis on Infinite Earths has other versions, seems to be fairly true to the comics. And that's what I love about DC animation, because they really do. If they're not just like, if it's not just identical to the comic, it's drawn directly from it, and you can see all the parallels. And they don't just fuck the story up too bad. Usually, we won't talk about fucking Hush, but those characters existed in the Arrowverse, the Tomorrowverse.
Legends of Tomorrow.
And you had Dr. Light and Psycho Pirate being and then the cast, but they didn't
The Harvester and everybody like that. But the thing is, like the Anti-Monitor would not die, so
yeah,
just would not die. They kept coming back,
Yeah.
kept coming back, kept coming back.
yeah.
Wouldn't go anywhere. So
But
it's gonna be
since
it would have to be
they've
a long
used since they've used Crisis on Infinite Earths in the comics and on TV in the Arrowverse, to clear DC's deck and give continuity a fresh start. Basically, fans are speculating that this Crisis trilogy might be the end of the Tomorrowverse continuity and like a starting point for whatever the next thing is going to be, the next shared continuity or whatever is going to be.
My bad. I thought they was doing one movie. It's a trilogy. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the teaser doesn't officially say that Crisis will will bring a separate storyline or whatever, but it remains to be seen. We'll see what it does. But it might further down the same press release, they identify a bonus feature as being a conversation with producers in which they reveal in detail their intricate plan to create a comprehensive animated universe across uh, seven films, concluding with the events of the three-part adaptation of this Crisis on Infinite Earths joint. And the seven movies in question would be Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Justice Society, World War II, Green Lantern, Beware My Power, Legion of Superheroes, Justice League War World, which was dope. And depending on how you count them, either two halves of the Batman the Long Halloween or the Long Halloween and Crisis on Infinite Earths. But yeah, with each new iteration of these DC animated movies, has had definitely a distinct beginning and end to their universes or whatever their continuities if they had one. But the Tomorrowverse, I think, is interestingly gonna be close to what James Gunn is doing, but I think what it's gonna do, I think they're gonna end the Tomorrowverse because they're consciously knowing that this James Gunn verse is gonna have its own animated universe, and Bruce Timm and all the big homies that fuck with that do the DC, movies that are the geniuses behind that DC shit are going to be, tasked to doing that. So this is going to be the end of the Tomorrowverse, and it's going to lead into the start of the DCU, the Gunverse, because everything in the Gun live action verse is going to be the same in the animated universe. Same actors are going to be, yeah, same actors are going to be playing the voices of the characters in the animated movies and in the video games and in the TV shows and the movies. Supposedly it's going to be all one continuity, with the same actors across all the different media.
Oh yeah, that
And
sounds dope.
it
Like that
sounds
sounds
dope.
good.
It
That
sounds
sounds
dope.
I don't think that's gonna pan out, but on paper it sounds ambitious. Yeah.
It will
Yeah.
not stand the test of time.
Yeah,
I
it
will
sounds
say
good.
that.
It
But
sounds good, but we'll
for
see.
now, it sounds nice.
I think chapter one will go well. I think James Gunn. We'll see if chapter one goes good. They'll definitely do the chapter two, which hopefully will be good too. And
It all hinges on how well the actors do in the live part of it, the
yeah,
live action. If they're spectacular in the live action, then everything else will fall in place. Now, if they're
mhm.
horrible in live action, then people will be like, "All right, now I got to fall back on the animation or fall back on a video game or what have you." And you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And
Well,
that's
DC better not fuck up. They can't. They can't
that's
go. If this fucking universe, if this Gunverse bombs, it doesn't work
yeah,
out.
right. I'm saying that's the thing about the James Gunn
There'll be problems.
universe is that it he has to build the most solid crew possible if this is what he wants to do. This
Yeah.
is big. And
Hmm.
now, and it's spreading across everything at this point. So yeah, what if he how to put it,
You.
then it's a wrap.
Yep, it'll
It's
be bad for them.
across all boards at that point. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think gonna fuck up. I just think he's gonna be more hands on. He even though he has that executive position, he's a worker. By it,
yeah,
by that I mean he likes to be hands on. He wants to be in the mix, not
yeah,
dictating this and that. Because when you dictate, you're depending on someone else' vision, to coincide with your vision. You got to be hands on if you want this shit to pop the way
yeah.
you're
The way you,
there.
yeah.
Unless you want
So
something done right, do it yourself type
And
thing.
Gun is always super hands on. That's why his projects. Peacemaker. Suicide Squad. Guardians of the Galaxy. All these shits that he's done are his shit. You
yeah,
could tell.
So
It's a it's a
yeah,
it's a style and
it's gonna
quality
be
and
solid. It's gonna be solid. It's just that
you know what else you know what he's doing though that really that I like. What I like is because in the comics when you have a Superman story, he- the Green Lantern might pop in that motherfucker. Different characters gonna be in there. But in a Superman movie, it's just Superman and like his villain and Lois Lane, and that's it. Where's the rest of the fucking universe? We
yeah,
don't get that. We get this movie about this guy, this character, but the way Gunn's doing is going to be more like the comics.
yeah. And the
All the
same with
characters are there. It's
it's the
more
same
like
with
the comic,
Batman
more
and
like
Wonder.
the animated films too.
Yeah. It's the same with Batman and Wonder Woman live movies. It's just like you don't like Gotham City. You can't find any other superhero to hear, and this dude needs help.
Yeah,
How is Batman always in peril? And Ain't nobody helping him. Like, yo,
Word. Like, where's the Justice League? Where's the
yo,
fam? Where's everybody at?
Well, for Batman, well,
Watching
because
a
because
Batman, you
Batman,
can
y'all
make
gotta
that a
remember
drinking
Batman a
game.
lot is a loner. Batman's a loner.
of
He
course.
just a lot of
Yeah, but
times he
sometimes
like they'll call Batman and he'll be like, I'm busy.
Yeah,
Step off.
Yeah, leave me
yeah,
alone.
that's fact. That's fact.
I'm tracking
Like
down a lead.
seriously, he
Batman
does
be
that.
on
Like he
that shit.
does that to them. Yeah, he'd be like
yeah,
busy.
Batman
And
be
then
on
they'd
that
be
yeah,
like, damn, we called Batman. And they be needing him. They'd be like, well, yeah, where's Batman?
yeah.
They're like, I'm busy.
And to be fair,
And then he just
in a
hang up
bat
on them. You know?
like a Batman movie and shit, I'm cool with it just being Batman because Batman is that loner and it does look cool. And then you corny it up with too many colorful heroes, and then it's not Batman anymore. At the same time, I'm anxious to see a fucking blue and gray suit Batman movie live action. I want it because every Batman has
Yeah, me
been
too.
black suit since Keaton. We've never. It's been the
Yeah.
TV show, the campy TV show is the only time we've seen that blue and gray suit,
I'm
man.
glad
And I
you know
want to see
right.
it.
But
Honestly,
the
honestly,
Batman, watching that, you can make that a drinking game. Every time Batman got knocked out, take a drink. You'd be done
Pow.
by the end of the damn movie,
but
yo. I didn't know what I know that was like a year one standalone, but I could have lived without it.
you know what? I mean, honestly, about Batman wearing that gray and blue, I mean, I would love to see it, but I don't want to see it because it's gonna make him be a punk. Is you know what I'm saying? But, I mean, you look
Nah,
at Superman. You know
bro.
Superman is strong, but he's wearing some really bitch uniform, man. Like you know what I'm saying? He got them red
Whoa,
underwears,
Superman.
underoos and
Let him
shit.
let
No,
him
come
That's
die.
on,
dope.
wait.
That's a dope. Wait a minute. That's
He
a dope
wilding, bro.
uniform. Wait a minute.
Let
We
him
can't
Nah,
we can't
I'm
disrespect
saying
let
Soup like
Superman is
that.
strong, but I'm
Soup
forget
got
the
the
saying
dope.
built-in nipples. Where's the
Batman
nipples
got him
look,
on the
I'm
too.
suit?
saying
So whoa.
I
That was
like
the style
look,
back in
I'm
the day.
saying
That ain't no punk though.
back in the
That ain't no punk.
I
That
don't
that
know.
ain't
He
no
got
punk.
blue underwears on, man. He got
That ain't
underwear
no
on, B.
that ain't no punk. That's superhero suits, man. That's I
Nah,
mean, not but in James Gunn in Brave and the Bold, I think he'll have the gray and blue. I think that's something Gunn will do. He's trying to be real comic-y, and comic accurate or whatever
I
whatever you want
guarantee
to call
there'll
it.
be crack on his underwear. I guarantee you, it has to be. That's gun. He's gonna point that shit out. We're like, God
Oh,
damn,
did somebody
wearing your
wearing
underwear
under
on outside of your lawn johns now? What's up?
Superman?
I'm saying, it's
Do
just like
it.
Every single DC character has the fucking underwear suit.
I know that's the traditional way, but I'm like,
Yeah,
now it's like
That's how it went down
we're
back in the
so
70s and the 60s.
yeah,
in the
we're so
40s and 30s
with the
and
Black Knight and stuff like that.
80s.
What?
Even
You
the
can't
new
wear your
Superman
drawers on
lost
the
their
outside
underwear.
like Quail Man no more.
No.
But yeah, and
No, that's sexy. That's sexy. Well, talk if you
You
was a
gotta have
superhero,
that and
women wouldn't think you was sexy because you ain't got your drawers on the outside of your uniform. They'd be like, oh no,
Man,
not you again. You gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta be like the rest of them. Do what you gotta do,
man,
baby.
you got like no drawers. What? That's all that.
You
Talking no drawers, baby.
Commando.
ain't
Commando
no
over
drawers.
here.
I'm
There's
commando, huh?
no drawers
Super
on the outside.
commando.
Crotchless
No drawers.
jeans.
really
He gonna run up in
Yeah,
some
skinny
crotchless
I'm free.
jeans.
Hey, listen, I'm free man. I'm free
You
man. I
know what
don't
I'm
wear no
saying?
Word.
drawers. Get out of here.
Swanging and dangling.
But I mean,
Swanging.
Yeah,
the
Well, we got
point
Yeah,
is,
three. We got
I
three
like that.
Marvel. We got three Marvel shows coming out. This year. 2024. We got Echo will arrive January 10th, 2024, with all episodes available on one shot, so you can binge it off top. That's dope. I love that. The series tells the origin story of Maya Lopez, whose ruthless behavior in New York City catches up with her in her hometown. She must face her past, reconnect with her Native American roots, and embrace the meaning of family and community if she ever hopes to move forward. Marvel fans can also look forward to the highly anticipated Agatha Darkhold Diaries. Fucking Agatha Christie over here. Series arriving in 2024 with Catherine Hahn reprising her fan favorite role of Westview's resident Darkhold reader, Agatha.
can't wait.
Uh,
It's gonna be
up,
terrible. I can't wait. I'm watching
what's it reminds me of? Damn, it reminds me of something.
It's gonna be
Murder She Wrote.
so bad.
Agatha Diaries. What was that movie? It was
Bewitched and Murder She Wrote put together, huh?
the Agatha fucking Christie Diary or some shit. But then we got animated Disney Plus series X-Men 97, and Spider-Man freshman year or something like that. What's it called?
Yeah, I think that's it. Freshman year, something like that.
Freshman year, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah. So, but yeah, we'll see. The
Mm.
X-Men show, I'm really fucking nervous about, but Marvel Zombies is one that will come out too eventually. That's
Yeah.
another show. Armor Wars now is a movie, was going to be a show. Then you got Daredevil Born Again, which will come 2025. Ironheart is
Mm.
definitely still happening apparently year after next. And
Everybody's sleeping on that Ironheart. I think that Ironheart is going to be tough.
That's still
all
happening.
right,
Where is
Because
Sue?
I think
He said that won't
they're going to
happen.
go a different
it's
approach.
not for me. It's not for me. But
Mhm.
it's not made for me. So that's all right. I don't mind. As
I
long
mean,
as you make some other shit for me too. That's all.
I
look
just
at the
want a
Kamala Khan
strong black
character.
Yeah,
female
yeah,
character. You
yeah.
don't
I'm
get
with
much
that.
stronger
Yeah, I'm
than
with that.
Iron
If
Man.
you,
You feel what I'm saying? And every it seems like every time we're portrayed, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
look at what
it's
they
just
did with
not. It's not.
Kamala Khan. You know what I'm
I,
saying? To me, her power was super whack anyway, in my opinion. But
Yeah, they fucked her up too.
that show, Miss Marvel, was dope.
Show was good.
It was
I
dope.
think she had better legs to stand on though than Ironheart because I
Yeah.
mean she's coming in. The actress is like made for her. She loves the character. She loves the
Yeah.
content. You can see it on screen, and also she's coming on the heels of a character nobody likes, i.e., Captain Marvel.
Mm,
Where like Ironheart, you introduce her in a film where she has no connection to anyone. I thought she would have been introduced in Armor Wars, but that's
Mm.
yeah.
fine. And then it's like people are, they have that sting because, oh, her, Iron Man, and then it's like all of that stuff. I just don't think that she had the best legs to stand on.
Mm.
And it's just, I don't know. I don't think that's going to be for me. I don't know. I
That's what
don't
I
know. But that's
disagree
me.
with
It
the
could be something
most.
good though, but
I mean, if they
That's what I
get into
disagree with
some
the
real,
most is that the black women characters that they're picking are extraordinary. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And then when they put them on when you get the film, it's yeah,
The
I
black
it's
women
not.
characters are great. Yeah, and that you're right about that too because a lot of the black women, female characters have been great and would be great in good movies. Just
yeah,
that unfortunately they're getting shit movies and shit scripts
but I
but
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I
they're
think what they
always a
need to
side
do.
play because you got
yeah.
to look at it like for me, you had Storm. She's on the team. You got Ironheart and everybody in Wakanda, but who reigns supreme. That be everything's about
Monica Rambeau should have been Miss Marvel though. Fuck that.
it's like a side thing. It's
Monica
making
Yeah,
it
Rambeau should
they
have
need
been
to
Miss
do
Marvel.
yeah.
learn a
I
little
agree.
something from
I agree
DC.
with that.
It's always a
Make
side
better
yeah.
thing.
villains for these characters. Make better villains.
Please, please.
Yeah,
Marvel has been
man.
just
Giving like
struggling.
even with the female shows, they keep giving them bullshit ass villains.
Yeah.
Get them some hardcore motherfucking villains, and then that brings that whole thing together. Like, oh shit, she's standing toe to toe with fucking, let's go with
That's what I'm saying. They make
Hydra
it
and
seem
shit
like
like
we
that. Let
always.
her fight Hydra and all these other motherfuckers. The Red Skull come out the blue and
That's what
some
I'm
real
saying. They always make it
motherfuckers.
seem
Yeah.
like we're just part of the team.
You know?
When these characters that they choose and leave the team in the books, but in the movies, it's like oh man, I'm just happy to be here, and that's kind of like messed up. And I want to see
Yeah.
the black girl shine, but the way they're written, it's just not gonna.
Why
I don't
not
see
see
it happening.
Ironheart go against Whiplash? You know what I'm saying? Go against a new Whiplash with some craziness, or maybe you know, another crazy character, the Beetle, something like that, like a modified Beetle and shit. So just give me some real villains. Some
Yeah, but they would
hardcore-
have to fix their overwhelming problem with just completely mediocre to forgettable villains that has been
yeah,
going on the entire MCU since phase 1. So, it's just like that's a decade's worth of like issues that they need to combat now because it's just like it's not working. And it really doesn't work with these female led projects, unfortunately. So I'm like, good golly. Mm-mm.
Well, Marvel, I mean, Disney's on that females rule and are the only people in the universe kick right now.
They can have the
I
female.
mean, listen, and there's nothing wrong with it. Just make it good, and they're not. They think because we're throwing it out there because they're females and this female empowerment movement that every female in the world is gonna want to see it. That's not absolutely true. So they're gonna have to learn from that mistake.
I
And it's one they're
would love to
making, and it's
see.
one that's killing them right now.
I would love to
No,
see She-Hulk if she would have
I
went
feel
against
some
the
kind of way.
Absorbing Man or the leader.
Ooh,
I
that would have
feel
been
Give,
some kind of
nice.
give
way.
her the leader. Like, come
I
on.
feel some kind of
Yeah,
way
they
because
won't give it.
I see it specifically with black women in the MCU. Because when you see a black man, a black male character being introduced in the MCU, there, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, boom, it's him. You feel what I'm saying? But then when you see when the black female, it seems like it's a yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
like an
the way
extra,
she's written.
an extra
Yeah,
in a
it's a bit
poorly
much.
written show.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
even in the Marvel, she was the one that didn't smile and shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was the only one with she didn't have a code name. Monica had no code name, even though she has a code name, but they said, nah, we're just not gonna have that in the final
Yeah.
cut. She's the only one that
Yeah.
was used to push forward something else that really has nothing to do with her as a character. Like we know nothing about her outside of her mom dying and her being mad at Carol because she went to go save the galaxy. So it's just like there's nothing to her, and that sucks because she's very powerful. She's a very important character. There's just nothing there. So I'm just like, all right, cool. And then you just had her go off and she's just going to be in the Fox universe, just making sure the multiverse stuff is ushered in. That's all she's there for. So it's like, whatever.
And that's the issue, man. They even though Marvel say they gotta correct things and they're going to correct things, they're not correcting shit. Because how you gonna correct shit? Shit is shit.
Yeah.
You gotta
can only push it around.
Yeah, you can't. Oh,
Yeah.
so we'll add this and take this away. Nah, it's still gonna be shit, man. You need to clear the whole slate and just
but they keep trying to do little things to correct it. These little Easter eggs.
I
and
mean,
things
you know
to
what? I'm
correct
gonna be
what they
honest with
fucked
y'all.
up before it just make it worse.
Yeah,
I'm more
be
confused
honest with
for
you.
the
I
viewer.
thought they should have. Yeah,
Yep.
I thought they should have rebooted the whole thing after the Infinity Saga, because there was
after
nothing else left
Endgame,
to do. I mean, you should just you should after Endgame and all that, you should just rebooted it, or you should just went a whole new direction with whole new heroes, or West Coast Avengers. You could just have skip it. We're gonna do the West Coast Avengers now, and
Yeah.
do a story with them and have them fight a big baddie, and come out on top. Like that would have been more appropriate than still trying
you
to
know what?
get with these
You
old
know what,
characters.
Stu? They might have done that. In a sense, they may have done that because who was in the West Coast Avengers? The Beast,
Beast,
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
She was in it too.
Well,
Who else?
what's her name? Sentry, I think, was in there. Spider
Oh,
Man.
I mean,
Century.
I hate to say
And
that you
and
can't use. I hate to say you can't use COVID
Miss
as an
Marvel,
excuse, but
Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau.
Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau. Yep.
So
But
they may have.
but I'm saying you already had this. That's my point. You already had some of the characters in. You had Hawkeye. You had She-Hulk. You know what I mean? So it's just
They could have done it.
why not
They
go
could
with
have
it?
done
Why not get it? Like why not get it?
Because they had
And
no
they didn't.
plan like that. Which is why you got all these standalone-esque projects basically with no
that's
connective
how the
tissue.
plan shifted. I know I say that you can't use COVID as an excuse, but you can. Because COVID was the thing that made everybody comfortable with just staying in the house all the damn time. Because everybody was on lockdown. At the time of COVID, there was no going to the theater. Everybody had to stand like 6 feet away from each other or some crazy shit. So there was no theater. So that died off. So everything became streaming and on TV and stuff like that. The thing is, you know what I'm saying? COVID is, life is somewhat back to normal, but the theater industry never really recovered. And streaming and everything is
But you
still
had
the
a
same.
lot.
So that's their new industry. So that's what they're catering to. The only thing is that they're ushering, just like they did during COVID when everybody would binge watch because they were home all the time. But it's not like that anymore. But they're still on that. They're still, you know what I'm saying? They're still ushering out like it's that time.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that anymore. You feel me?
true.
And so it's kind of like they haven't really
Right.
caught up to
But
to
when you think,
post COVID as
but when you
opposed to
think
Mhm.
about it, they should have just did it because you need Mockingbird, you need War Machine, which they already had. You need Tiger, Wonder
Tiger.
Man. We already got Moon Knight. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So those are the original West Coast Avengers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, there's other people you could have threw in
And
there,
yeah, you had Iron Man
but
in that squad, but you could put what you call it, Iron Heart in there.
you could have put Iron Heart in there, or you could have just put. You didn't
Upgrade.
even need to put Iron because you already had Hank Pym was already in the universe. So and then we got Scott could have just went to the West. Scarlet Witch is already in the universe. U.S. Agent is already through the show is already. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you had
Wasp,
a whole bunch.
Moon Knight, Captain Marvel. She's already there. Dark Hawk, Human Torch, but Quicksilver, the Machine Man, Firebird, Kate Bishop. I
Shit's
mean,
all
come
right.
on. You might as well just go West Coast Avengers. Just make your own TV version.
Mm.
Thor, Living Lightning.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, they're
it's
trying to
it's a
haphazardly build the Young Avengers now. I'm like, okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a missed opportunity. It's just a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
They, yeah, they just go crazy. Some silly
Young Avengers.
Young Avengers. Okay.
Iman Velani. Um, yeah, Young Avengers will bring a fresh perspective with their own experiences and fandom of the originals. They can bring something new and functional to the team.
That's what she said.
They said.
Mm.
It
Iman
is what it
Iman
is.
Vellani said they have perspectives that the older Avengers don't have, especially because they've had to deal with the repercussions. But they're also a fan of the older Avengers, so I think they can really make this team up something new. I think it'll be way more functional than the Avengers ever were. I think Kamala being in charge might also set the tone in a really wonderful way. I think she's a natural born leader. She is not only the glue of the Marvels, but could be the glue of the younger Avengers group because she is mature and she is intelligent. And she also has all this knowledge about being superheroes and teamwork and how it will do and how to do it in a way that's ideal for that work and works for everyone. And she's probably learned so much from being on the Marvels, so she can bring that into the Young Avengers. But yeah, I think there'll definitely be a group that a lot of younger audiences can resonate and relate to way more. I think their opinions on social justice issues, I think their opinions on just the world in general is
Mm.
what is needed and is way more important than story. They
Oh,
feel like
that's that bullshit, man. That's that bullshit.
she's not done. Yeah, exactly, right.
I'm sorry to cut you off. That's that bullshit. What we
Nah, I'm
need.
just
But hey, you a fucking doctor or something? How the fuck you want to tell what people need? We just want the fucking story.
Mhm.
That's
mhm.
bullshit. Yeah,
Fuck
I
them
agree.
agendas.
I agree.
I
She
think
said,
That's
she's just
sorry.
speaking from the perspective of a mega fan. I mean, she's very new
Gen
to all of
Z.
this. And
Yeah,
so I think
yeah.
none of this, I don't think it's going to play out the way that
She
she's
thinks.
saying right now. I don't. I hope not.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't put too much stock in what she says because she's
Mhm.
ultimately like just a huge fan. And I don't know. Oh, G.I. Joe. I like that.
Well, she
That
said,
that
You got
that's for
yours?
a younger.
"What happened?"
That's for the younger crowd. So I hope that if they could kind of in a way shift it into two markets, you know what I
Right.
mean? Then all the older fans can finally get what they want, which is more adult
Oh my
content. So
God.
the younger viewers will be flocking to the theaters and everything for that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
For
I'm cool.
developing and
I
stuff, so we
I
can
like.
have them.
Yeah, I like when I like for them to have that content. But my thing is like me and Stu were saying earlier, have other shit too. Have shit for us too. As long as you got shit there for us too, we happy to for you to have all that
Exactly.
too.
This right here
Please.
makes it easier to make more adult oriented and fan based content
But we know
because
what
you
this
don't,
is.
yeah, it
We know what it is.
separates it
We know
out.
what it is. She said, I think there'll definitely be a group that a lot of younger audiences can resonate and relate to way more. I think their opinions on social justice issues and their opinions on just the world in general is what is needed and is way more important. They feel like the group that will understand humanity and the value of human life way more than I think the older group does because they're in it, right? They have relationships here. They're in school. They have their friends, they have their idols and their mentors. And I think all of those relationships will ground this group way more than we have mentors who's a billionaire and a guy who was frozen from the 1940s. So they're definitely way more aware of reality.
I mean, I think in terms of the MCU, I can kind of see where she's coming from as far as like not maybe being more intact with I guess the death toll, just because the entirety of Civil War was based upon that, upon the Avengers and what happened with Sokovia and all the stuff that happened before. Not necessarily their fault, but that's just what happened. I think, I don't know, I just don't take much stock in what she says seriously, just because she's a mega fan. Like, she just, this is her literal break into the industry. I don't know. I wouldn't. There's no need to be upset about it because, like, she's literally just being a fan. So
Yeah.
I doubt that anything she says is going to come to fruition outside of maybe like the last bit. But
Well, no, yeah.
I
The
understand
shit,
what she's talking about, as you know, you're saying she's a fan, but to make a statement saying that these characters uh have no regard for, you know, life and shit like that, like a guy from the 40s
yeah.
who fought motherfucking Hitler,
yeah, that
you
was
know
kind of
what I'm saying,
bad.
and shit like that.
Word.
He
Yo, we just
he left.
old.
He was in a world of morality,
Yeah.
and he's
Yeah.
unfolding a world
We're
where
just
there is no
old. It's not
morality.
for us.
So
So
like,
it's not really the bad kind of like, anything like that. That's for we're just old. Our hero is from the 1940s.
So, but yeah, but
That's it.
about,
but there's more morality in those movies.
yeah, it's more
Young
moral.
niggas,
This
no
Gen,
break.
I
this
definitely think her
this
comment was
Gen Z, what she,
tone deaf.
the SJW, yeah, the
That's
Gen Z
already
stuff that
true.
she's talking about, the Gen Z point of view is that people from back in the day are basically Neanderthals. They're basically barbarians. They have no social justice sense. They're not woke. They're and that's where she's coming from, and that's that bullshit.
And that's blinding, because
Right?
if it wasn't for back then, like if we're gonna go that route where there's no the social justice, there's no woke people. It was woke before that term was even happening. You had the 60s that was just nothing but that.
Right.
Then you know what I'm saying? You had a lot of things with
That
different
term made it cheap,
heroes.
if you ask me. Made it
You know,
corny and fucking and offensive in a way.
you know what I'm
But
saying? So it's like, to say that these heroes now, these young ones, they're in the midst of it. That's generational. So she's speaking in
right,
generational terms that, she's making a disconnect when it should be
you're in
all.
the midst of what?
You know,
Life? They weren't in life too. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
exactly. Like,
Their own
it makes sense.
lives, and
That
their point of
statement is
view
like,
is then the story. Then make a show and do that.
yeah,
How's that? How about you don't use the Avengers? Just go ahead and make it. Just go ahead and make a show, and
a good
forget about
Yeah,
young
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. You can, yeah. I mean, you can get all these opinions and all these agendas and all these your social justice ideas across. You don't have to use the comic medium, which is
No,
generally a bunch of like
no.
nerdy
but
dudes like that don't care about
But you
any of
know
that
what?
shit.
The
but
comic,
I don't mind
but the
that
comic
social
medium,
justice.
the comic medium is it works because you got to understand something. With these younger generations, they're so arrogant and they're so pompous with their handheld computers.
Tell
They
us
don't
how you really
understand
feel.
that. They don't understand that one day you're gonna be old too. everybody's affected by time. Everybody gets older. New generations come in, old ones go out. But you got to understand something. The comic books take the Constitution. If you think about it, and in layman's terms, the Constitution says one thing: if you know somebody's doing something wrong and you're in a position of power to do something about it, you should. And if you don't, you're just as wrong as that person.
Yeah.
So that's what the Constitution says in layman's terms. I mean, when you read it, you be like, damn, what is all of this? Like Jesus. But that's what it says in layman's terms. So what did Captain America do? He went up against somebody, the Red Skull and Hitler, because they were doing wrong justices to everybody in the world, and he had the power to do something to stop it, and he did it. Same thing with the Avengers. Same thing with Spider-Man. That's what every hero is based on. Every hero is based on the fact that I'm gonna go up against this big guy right here because nobody else can. And if I die doing it, then so be it. But if I don't, I'll be a hero for it. And I'm humble, and and everybody's safe and good, and even I'm good, and I can walk the streets and sleep at night knowing that I had the power to do something about it, and I did.
Exactly.
That's just what it is. All this social justice stuff and all this, it makes
Yeah.
no sense because if
Well,
you got the power to do something about something, then do it. Because a lot of social justice that we have now comes from people who had the power to do it, but they turn the other cheek and they
They're
say,
not doing
well,
shit but talking.
maybe somebody else, right? Maybe Reno would do it. I'm not in it, but Reno can handle it. Instead of you just stepping up to the mic and saying, well, that's wrong. Don't do
but
that.
the thing is that she's using it as okay, a generational bashing.
Yeah.
Don't generational bash because technically, if we want to get raw, if it wasn't for past generations, our asses wouldn't be here. Your ass wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So you can't bash the last generation because your
No,
ass wouldn't be here because of
no,
My
last
you
generation.
mother
can't.
went to
That's
in high
facts.
Yeah,
school.
nah,
It is not. They act like this is
yeah.
like 1,000 years in the past.
They
It's
act like
really
they
not.
birthed themselves
They
and
do,
shit.
right.
It's
It ain't
really
even been
not.
right,
You
yeah.
know how
And then
many
you gotta
great
think too,
grand
most of them
people
just sit on
that
their computers.
took
Yeah. Most of them sit
for
on their
us to
computers and
be
talk
here?
this
It's
trash.
like for each of us to be here, it took thousands of people to be fucking.
Straight up die. Straight
You
up
understand what
die.
I'm saying? You think about it,
You
like
feel what
that's
I'm
a lot of
saying?
month. For me to be here, it took thousands of people. Just
It's just like we are not the same. So what they need to realize is
yeah.
they get their social injustice and their message out through a Young Avengers show. How we got it out was by marching on the street, by
Speak.
putting our voice out there, by speaking, petitioning, lobbying, and doing all these things. You feel what I'm saying?
And then
Like
not
Heard.
and the
it's a bit
generation
much.
before us,
And you're gonna generation bash through a television show
yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
for
And
real?
real, and if we're gonna be real, like a lot of stuff had to happen because of you had to have the riots. That was another part of it. If we're gonna go into why these superheroes are who they are, the
Yeah,
classic.
we've been rioting since rioting was an idea.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. So
pretty
it's
much.
just like
Yeah, pretty much,
to
man.
Definitely.
bash that to say that these heroes like Iron Man and Captain America have no
Like they're
feeling.
out of touch
They're out of
with
touch.
reality.
They're
Never
not out
out
of
of
touch.
touch.
She said
They're more real with
Hero.
it. They're more real with it than anybody,
she
especially
said
the
he
comic.
said she said so we're definitely way more aware of reality. What
What reality? Virtual reality?
the
Nah,
fuck you talking
man.
about?
You know what? I'm gonna keep it a book. How many of us here in this group now have been inspired by heroes like Captain America, Iron Man? Like, think about it. Tony Stark was
All
an
of us.
alcoholic, but he kicked the
That's
habit.
why we're here.
Yeah, he kicked the
Oh
habit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was a bad alcoholic too, and he kicked the habit.
Oh yeah.
Look at Steve Rogers. He had to adjust to a new world after he just saved the world again. And then he didn't like the politics of the new world because he thought in his mind, like, look, like the government is I love it, but it's just y'all got a little just too much secret stuff going on that I just
Yeah.
can't get with. And these
Yeah,
people need to know about this because they're the people. You don't work for yourself. You don't run the country. The people run the country.
he was really woke.
Always had the
That's
mindset
why
that
Captain America
right, yeah,
is the most moral superhero there is. Captain America,
hero
period.
Yeah,
is. He is
The most
America.
moral.
Yeah, he is.
him and
Yeah,
Superman.
yeah.
Like so you're
Him and
looking at
Superman.
it
And
like
look at Batman. Don't forget Batman. Batman lost both his parents. right? And the same day, still grew up to become a morally sound figure by day, but at night he went out and did something about people that killed his parents. He went and did something about crime when the
Yeah,
police couldn't do nothing about it. He went out and stopped the criminals that the police couldn't stop. He went out like regular crime in Gotham. You gotta be a super criminal to do so. Because if you just a regular, just robbing, still Batman gonna get you, and everybody's afraid. They're afraid of Batman, and he made sure that they were because he wanted to instill the same fear in them that they instilled in him when he was a child, so that the
I
regular
guess
citizens of Gotham can walk around and not be afraid, and the criminals could be afraid. He reversed it. Like, come on, you can't beat that.
I guess these new young Avengers, they're gonna avenge the people now. Yeah, they're offended by their pronouns. I feel offended. I
Come
need a
on,
young
man.
Avenger to help me.
Because that's
Like,
what
'cause
America does
what
now,
are you
bro.
really
Talk.
fighting
America
against?
does that now. That's what America does now. They complain, and this America's soft, and it complains now, and everybody does it, and so it's like to the point where, you either patient sitting on somebody's couch talking about your feelings, or you can do like we did in the old school, suck it up. You know what I mean? Pull your drawers up,
Yeah,
lace your boots up tight, put your back against the wind, and do what you got to do. Like
exactly.
Take a
now,
stand
everybody wants to
knees,
cry and whine
bruise
and be heard.
elbows, and keep
Come on,
moving.
man.
See,
Like
see, I'm raw talk. I'm so glad you said something because I was holding it inside. I didn't want to say it, but it's like a. I don't want to. Yeah.
it's
Mm.
okay. But it's where
I
we're
think
at
we
now.
all know what they mean by woke and social injustice
Of
Yeah,
and
course.
we
stuff
know.
and what they're doing. I think we all know
Oh
what's about
yeah.
to happen with this
Right,
show. And
right.
it's just kind of like, yo, like,
Yeah.
what problems does the generation have? Like, on some real shit. What problems do y'all have?
They don't.
Just on some
Oh, I
real
do. I know
shit.
one. I know one.
It's on a day
I
to
know one
day
bloodshed.
basis.
I know one bloodshed. Your phone. They don't have a new iPhone this year,
Nah,
or
I
you
mean,
crack the
let's be
screen on your
honest
old
though. On
iPhone.
some real shit,
That's the problem that they have. That's
this
the problems that they
generation
have.
does
Like
have
I cracked the
problems.
screen on my iPhone. I don't have a new case for my
Man, do you
iPhone,
know how
or or
excited I
or
was
or or this
when
OS
moms got
just ain't
the
working right.
Look.
mobile phones, but you
See,
couldn't
look,
take them,
this
couldn't take them
generation.
outside. They were still like cordless. You know how excited I was?
I'm gonna keep it gangster with it. This generation does have problems. This new generation does have problems. Just like our generation has problems. It's all inherited problems that had never been solved when it was supposed to be solved. It just snowballed into bigger shit. You know what I'm saying?
Always,
But a lot
always,
of issues and
always.
problems could have been solved at a certain point in time that never was. So now they have to deal with a more crazier aftermath. See, we had the fatherless homes, we had welfare, we had all that. They don't even get the chance to deal with welfare because there ain't nothing left for your ass. So they got to deal with something else, not being able to have some type of
We live
something to
through the crack
fall on,
epidemic, man.
to fall back on. You know what I'm
We
saying?
live.
That they get them out.
Come on, bro.
So it's a lot of shit that's been snowballing. So yeah, they
I
have a
was
right to
having
complain, but every generation has a right to
I
complain.
was having a conversation just like that, Raw Talk, not so long ago,
You
and
know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
like, he kind of just sat there in silence, and finally was like, "So the generation now, really, we had them,
Yeah. The
yeah.
the
So and we
generation.
mad at them, but we're their teachers, we're their mothers, we're their fathers. Like we did this, and we're constantly complaining. I had a whole conversation, man, but I'm in denial, and
then our
I'm not,
then our
I'm not gonna
parents had
accept that.
our parents
I'm not
had
gonna
us.
accept.
And check this out. Let me give you the science on what happened. Okay. You had COINTELPRO in the 60s, right? What did they bring into the 60s? Cocaine and drug laws through black exploitation movies.
Right.
That fucked up a whole generation. Our parents' generation, right?
Right.
Then out of that came Reaganomics and shit like that.
Crack.
Then you had the crack era and rap, not hip hop. Hip hop was the culture.
Gangster rap.
Rap was the commodity of that. So now you had rap that brainwash with another COINTELPRO crew called the NWA, which glorified gangster music. which now permeates since then. Bashing, killing each other, all that stuff was gangster music. That was our generation's.
Hey Stu, he sound like hey Stu, he sound like wise intelligent.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
sound like wise intelligent
That's
talking
the homie,
on the
right?
show.
You know,
That's the homie.
the homie. That's the
That's some
homie.
shit he said though.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, we all travel in the same circle, so we
I
all
know.
I
ciphers
just
and
seen
everything
Wise the
like
other
that.
day. I just seen Wise
So
the other
it's
day
like,
too.
and me and my brother, we was just speaking on him the other day. We was like, yo, remember when Wise the Intelligent, boom, boom, boom. We was like all the Jersey rappers. We all used to be a little community too. We used to run it when the college
Yeah.
and rapping. Everybody used to run into each other and stuff like that. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So it's like dope time, but everybody was building during that time. So now our generation, we were affected by rap. This next generation, our kids, you know what their
What the,
shit is?
what they say? Sada is wise beyond her years
you
and beautiful like Beyonce.
see, the next generation is
Facts, Slade.
technology.
All facts, Slade. All facts.
Technology is their crutch now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I said before. That's what I said
tradition.
before. And they listen when they have a problem, they stare into their phone, bro. Like you gotta learn to put these phones down.
Yeah.
Like it's taking up your time.
Social
You're sitting there
media is
looking
their
at TikTok
All right,
sedation.
y'all.
videos
All right,
and all
listen.
that,
Rap
man.
was
You
our
gotta let
sedation,
that
and
go.
black exploitation was our parents' sedation.
Listen, Sada, hold on. Sada just sitting there. We
Like,
we just bashing. We just bashing her whole generation.
I mean,
Listen,
we're
I
all
don't think it's.
nah,
I mean,
nah.
I don't think
But
Y'all
no,
already
I want to hear from Sada though. I want Sada's
I
perspective
don't
though.
think it's bashful. I just think a lot of it is generalization. I do agree that technology is a huge crutch for us, but it's also one of our biggest like issues as far as the over reliance, as far as with AI seeping in now, like all of that's trickling down for sure.
Mm,
I think we have a lot of other things to complain about, like as far as the cost of living, as far as having
yeah.
a sustainable job, like all of that
Mm,
shit. That's just been building up and up and up, and now it's affecting us. Like most of us, I mean, you literally have to have like 4 roommates just to have like any type of sustainable,
or live with your parents. Yeah.
living, or you're just living with your parents, like, or your job's not paying enough. You have all this shit going on, and I feel like that subset of people who fall into the category of the social justice warriors, we don't claim those people, because I think all of their issues, they're so surface level, and it's all computer fingers. There's it's never anything that they never offer a real solution to whatever they're
Yeah.
complaining about. So I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's bashful. I just think there's a lot of generalization happening. But
Mm,
the Amani's tone deaf. I think they were very tone deaf comments concerning those heroes. They don't represent all of us. They don't represent the majority.
right.
And even with them trying to do Young Avengers, that's not even going to pan out, just for the fact of nobody cares about these characters enough for you to even put like whatever type of message you want to put in that project. Not enough people are going to watch it enough for it to mean anything. So it's just like, I don't know. It's whatever.
Like,
I mean, let me just say that. Hold on, just let me stamp everything she just said. Let me give you that right now, because
Oh no, the stamp.
you just broke it down. You just broke it down.
That's your
check
job.
me out.
That's your job, Sada. Your
I
job
know
is
I
to
didn't
put
give
the
myself
stamp
a
on it.
stamp.
I had
Yeah,
no
you
idea
supposed
you
to put the
was young,
stamp on
bro.
it.
Oh
I
yeah,
had
If
no
I'm
anybody's
idea.
supposed,
young.
you supposed to be stamping that.
I'm the youngest one here.
Hell yeah. Like the way you speak and you present yourself, you like you say, yeah, you ain't your typical damn.
Damn.
This
Hey,
whole
you
time
know,
I thought Sada was old. I'm so serious. I thought her back hurt like everybody else on the
Oh,
show. I
I'm
had
getting
no
there, but I'm
idea.
not there yet.
hey,
Oh shit.
let this be
Damn.
known though. Most of your social justice warriors are rich, liberal Caucasian people
Yeah.
because they
Those are
have
the only ones.
they have the privilege of speaking on these platforms, on these major platforms.
They have the time. They have the
Yeah,
time. Like
time and
Tyler
privilege.
said, you gotta
Exactly.
work, man. You gotta work
So
if you want to live. Like,
when we
yo,
see
like
these
for real.
people
And it still
speak
take
on
four of
stuff,
y'all.
you
Yeah.
just gotta watch and look at them. Like my wife, she works for a nonprofit, and I told her, look, these nonprofits are for profit. They're just that non is like it's not it's exclusive. The non part is keeping people out. We already know who benefits from that.
Yeah,
Those
it's a loophole.
Ivy League school kids who need uh, uh an internship and want to go into politics. What do? They go into nonprofit organizations. That's the caveat to saying I did community work.
Did your
I
wife go to college?
huh?
Did your wife go to college?
Of course.
Oh, okay. Well, if she works in a nonprofit for I think like over 2 years, she qualifies for full student loan forgiveness.
Oh
Oh
shit.
no, she like me.
Mm.
I still
I
still
went to
do that,
college
so I
too.
wouldn't
I went to
fight
college
it.
too. I never had a loan. I paid
Oh,
my way through.
Yeah, I
so
never had a loan
lucky.
either. Yeah, I went too. I never had a
Yeah,
loan. I
Yeah.
never had a loan either.
Paid my
Sada.
way through. I
I
Listen,
never
don't
had a
don't
owe
loan either,
brag,
nothing.
Roger.
Sada.
Yeah, I
For
never had a
real.
loan
I
either. I
owe
worked my way through
nothing.
college.
I
Yeah,
owe
Hey,
nothing. She owes nothing.
I
Hmm.
made my way through college. That's what you sound like.
yeah, I
Love
don't owe
that
You
for
know,
nothing.
you,
but
Yeah, I'm
Stu.
the same way. I don't owe nothing.
Love that for you, Stu. It's rough over
How'd you
here.
pull that off?
hell
No,
yeah.
I mean,
Nah,
it's
you
a
gotta work
hustle.
your way. Listen, I
It
don't
was
care
a
what nobody
different
tell you.
time too.
Unless you got a
For
trust
us, it
fund
was
somewhere,
different.
it's better to just work your way through. It's way
Yeah.
better to just
Yeah.
work your way through.
But it's
You can do
hard
it.
for these young kids now to do that because there's no
Yeah.
jobs for them to do that.
And they're not making no money, and the cost of living is insane.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
Ain't no jobs
our
where.
time,
Ain't no
I went
jobs
to
where.
college in
Everywhere
'93,
I go,
right
they
out of
hiring.
No, the jobs are fine. There's plenty of
Pay
jobs. They
is,
just
is
don't pay enough.
below
My
living. Like you cannot live off of
my
most of these
first
jobs. You gotta have
You
apartment.
like
can't.
2 to 3, 5 different streams of income, and a lot of those
Yeah.
other streams come from social media. Like
Bro, you need a good $25-$30 an hour to live.
yeah, like
My
you
very
have that's why
first
you
Listen,
have the rise of
apartment
all these
listen. For all of
influencers
y'all,
or
like
in
Sada,
YouTubers. You
like look,
know,
like Sada. If you in school,
coming out
do
of
me a
high
favor,
school.
Sada. Apply for a state job. The state is
yeah.
hiring in
But
every
what if
state.
that doesn't fall
They
into
play a
what
pretty
you
penny.
want to do
That's
with
a
your
pretty
life? That's
penny.
the other problem.
But wait, well,
Okay,
listen. I'm gonna tell
so
you why. Listen. Just because you're doing one job don't mean you're trapped in it. The statistics in Forbes says that you're going to change your job at least 6 times in a lifetime before you retire,
True.
which means that it's okay to take a job. Say if you get a job making 60,000 a year, how much it costs to go to college if you're living at home? You salary for the year into your college education, and then don't owe nobody nothing. And then you can shop your degree and go get the job you really want that you went to school for. You're not gonna start out being what you want to be from the top. That's the problem with with the younger generation. They want to start here and don't know that they got to go from here to here.
Right,
So
right,
that's the
right,
problem.
right.
Like, yeah,
That's what
you
I
can
was
start
just
like you could,
saying though.
yeah,
That's what I was just
you
saying.
could be
My
mopping
first
floors.
apartment in 2008, fresh out of high school, first semester, freshman year of college, was $398 with water and sewer included. My electric bill never went over
Damn,
$60. Like Sada was just
I wish
saying,
they still
you
had
have
that
to
now.
generate income, generate income,
Huh.
generate income. Even at 60,000 a year, she still would she'd be scooting along. She'd be treading water, especially if
yeah,
she's in college as well. That's the difference. That's the difference. You have to that generation has to start up here because that's where everything is.
yeah.
Like me out the start $398, I had a 1 bedroom apartment.
Mm.
I was living fat. It was just me. Fully furnished and everything. And I was working at Quiznos,
Mm.
going to
Uh-huh.
college. Sada can't do that. Her generation can't do that.
Nah, they-
You feel me?
but
So
at the same time, like is you got to decide on what type of degrees and what type of job industry you want to get into because
Yeah.
AI is fucking up everybody's shit.
Yeah, that's a real big problem.
Soon accountants will be obsolete. You
Hmm.
won't need an accountant. You got AI to do it.
that was what me and my little sister and everybody coming out of that was our problem. The 80s babies was we were told when you graduate high school, you go to college or you get a job.
Yep.
Like I will carry you through high school. When you graduate, you go to college, you get a job, you get the hell up out my house.
Yep.
Those were the rules. So all of us that went to college, we chose our majors carefully, and we did well. And when we got out of college, we could not find a fucking job, bro, like at all in our field, man. Like honestly, I do feel
Well,
like
I'm
if
in
I
the
went to college,
entertainment
I would
business.
have jobs. Exactly. I could not find a job in my major, and that was a problem stretching across
Now,
everybody I knew
now
that went to
did you
college where I said a job.
now your major, was it a liberal arts major, a psychology major?
Social studies, my first, social science, my first degree, and then my second degree was general studies. I just went to school to go to school, man. You can't learn shit in coursework, so I went to college.
And that
Wow.
because they promoted all that, like, oh yeah, psychology, and like, how many motherfuckers gonna use it?
Yeah.
Are you
You
going
know,
to be a
I have
psychiatrist?
classmates now got degrees, and they can't find anything. One is you working for UPS, the other is working over here for 20 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn.
Man, I know people that went to school and majored in electrical engineering, people that went to school and majored in macroeconomics, people that went to school and majored in psychology, people went to school and like in physical therapy, all kinds of things. I went to school with so many people. When you go for general studies, you're in all majors.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? You don't really have. It's not like a solid thing. You just
yeah.
carry it till you find what you want. But
Yeah,
then, like,
man.
you
I
run
paid
across
sixty
all kind
thousand
of people.
dollars to learn how to build websites back in
You know what I'm saying?
2003. Went to college, got a bachelor degree, and
Just to get
all
out
the
of
shit that I
college.
learned there became obsolete.
Mhm.
Like
Just get out of college and you
shortly
broke.
after.
Just get out of
All college did for me was it gave me a job. I got an entry level job from the college, which I did okay, fine, entry level that would have went nowhere. And I met a guy at that job, luckily, and got into this and started my own company, merchant account business, inadvertently through it. So you can't really even give it that credit, but I can give it the credit that it did get me in the door. So if
Yeah.
that's all it
Networking
does,
is
at
really
least,
important.
yeah, exactly.
But here's the kicker with all that shit. Once you get the job, you still got to learn their system. So what the fuck?
Oh,
You know
you're
what I'm
just
saying?
screwed no matter what you do.
Yeah,
What
you got to
you
learn their
know.
system.
Oh, my God.
And then, like me, I'm a designer, so programs advance every 2 years technically. You know what I mean? So it's like,
exactly. It's like you're missing your window while you're in college studying that particular
Mhm.
thing. You're missing your window of expertise. By the time you get your degree and graduate and really want to do what you want to do, they're not on what you want to do anymore. What you got into college to do, that's not what they're doing anymore. It's a whole new system. That's
exactly.
not what you know what I'm saying?
But fortunately for these young people, they have the resources we didn't have, like the internet. They got to
Yeah.
use as a resource. They have different avenues, drop shipping, all these things they can have at their fingertips, and they're more susceptible to use it quicker than we can. We're fortunate that we're trapped like Generation X. We know computers and analog shit. We know the AI shit and the analog shit. You know what I'm saying? So we're fortunate in that, but our time frame is shortened. Where these young kids, they got a longer time span to master everything in
They can't
totality.
read analog clocks.
Well, they
They
don't
took
need to.
analog clocks out of high schools because the kids couldn't tell the time.
Yeah, see.
Simple things like that.
But
You know,
that's
a lot
simple
of
for
the,
us.
the technology is dumbing everybody down. They literally, I had my nephew tell me that when they take a test, they airdrop each other the answers during the test. They don't even have to study; they can just ace the
But see,
test. And then
here's the thing about that too. Like, if you look at it, the education that we had was for manual labor orientated jobs. The education that these younger kids, like my sons, are doing is linear math and everything because they're training them to operate in a digital space. Period. Only because that's where it's all headed. You know what I mean? So you can't really fault them for not knowing that the regular clock, because in their future they don't need that fucking clock.
there
They
are no
Oh,
analog
don't need
clocks.
that analog clock.
There are no analog clocks.
You got an
$300.
iPhone that ain't tell you like, oh word.
But
It's 12
the thing is, if
good.
we had implemented that and made it a thing, there would be analog clocks. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't the child's decision to be like, I don't like this clock, I'm not gonna read it. It was our decision to not teach them how to read an analog clock. And that was the conversation I was having. It's like we got nobody to blame, but these are our children.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? We got nobody to blame but ourselves.
Hey, Sada, do you know how to write in cursive?
I do.
Okay. Is that typical among your peers?
I know we learned that in third grade. Yeah, that was something I learned in third grade. So
Okay. Because
maybe
my
somebody
son's 19. His generation, they did not learn it. School
really.
does not teach it anymore. I
Oh
went
my
to the school. I
God.
went to the teachers. She's like, it's not in the curriculum
That's
anymore.
only
Everything
like
is typed.
4 years younger than me.
Yeah. She's like, they're
I
giving them, they're giving them laptops now in class. It's not even the same shit no more. They don't even teach them how to fucking write in
Oh
cursive
my
anymore.
God. Actually,
I
less than 4 years. I think it's like
I work in
3.
retail a lot, and it's to the point that most young adults that come and swipe their card and you have to sign for a signature, it's just a squiggly line.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. That's so
How are
bad.
you
Yeah.
afraid of getting scammed or your identity stolen when your signature is just a straight line? Like cursive is
Or
necessary.
they
Many
literally
people
write their name in fucking just regular letters. Like,
or
I'm like,
something.
wow.
If
Uh,
explanations teach you, yeah, you know what I
I
mean? Like,
I know when
yeah.
I was in high school, like they started incorporating technology a lot more, like more so when I was about to
Yeah.
graduate. Like in most of my classes, we had the Chromebooks, which I just hate Chromebooks, but we had the Chromebooks. We had like a lot more technology implemented in like our classes and what we were doing, maybe outside of
Mhm.
like English or something. But yeah, it was becoming more apparent when I was leaving. So I
Right.
know that for people like your son's age, I know it's just there forever. So,
Oh yeah.
oh
Yep.
man.
It's crazy. I can't. But I mean, at the same time, like I get it. Like if you look into like look at futuristic movies because that's our best reference, right? So you look at sci-fi movies, I mean, rather, and you look at the future, and they're walking around pretty much scanning shit. Everything is your eyes scanning and walking by, and just there's really no. When are you writing something with a pencil? That shit just doesn't happen in the future. Like that shit is getting phased out. There's just no situation where you need to do it. Signing for shit anymore. It'll be a retinal scan.
Yeah.
What's a better
Or a
signature than your
fingerprint
retinal
or a
scan or a
thumbprint.
fingerprint or
Yeah,
thumbprint,
or a
whatever?
thumbprint.
Shit is
Yeah.
all my
Yeah.
favorite.
But a
Biological.
retinal scan is the best thing because you don't have to touch anything. No one's touching something. Touching something. See, they're trying to phase out physical contact because you know what I mean. So everything is just you walk by, scan. Everything will be in the future. It'll be to the point where
Equilibrium.
everything is fucking done. It'll be to one day. Like my great grandkids shit, I think in the future it'll be to the point where it ain't even no scanning shit. They just fucking know. You're just there, and it's just your whole information is just there. Like satellites, there's just shit in the air. They just fucking know your shit, bro. Like you got chips in your head and shit, bro. It's like for real. They gonna really have everybody linked in to the network and shit. They'll phase out money and all of that shit. There will be no need for cash.
Now money now.
They started
Yeah,
construction on a luxury hotel in space. It's right outside
After
of
the
Earth's orbit. It's in a
2024
perfect
collapse. Yeah.
location that you can see Earth from the window. And it's like a luxury kind of like hotel type thing where they're gonna have restaurants and all kinds of stuff. They already
like a
started
space
construction on
station and shit. Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, billionaires is doing some wild shit too. They're flying around and shit and spaceships
Yeah,
and shit.
where
That's
we at for
crazy.
that 2024
Well, they got the
collapse?
money to do it. They got the
Word.
money to do it. I want a spaceship.
They got the
All
money.
I want is a
Yeah.
submarine, and they got whole spaceships.
Stu.
And they got all my money for the submarine.
But Stu, I'm with you, bro. Like if I had that kind of money, I'd be in spaceships too, bro.
I'll be in a
Like that's
submarine.
I mean,
Just keeping it
you
real.
being so
I'll be in a
but you
submarine.
know,
My submarine will look
I
like a
feel you.
spaceship, but I'll be in a submarine.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I have my
But
mattress in the side of a mountain, chilling
or
on
I
some
mean
cold shit.
That's
Anybody
not even.
comes through my
I
door, they
mean, raw
getting
talk. That's
chopped up.
how for one. It's not even fun to live inside of a mountain. I mean, you got cave spiders, and you got like if you want a sub,
Nah,
You
man,
can go anywhere you
my
want.
mountain be so
I'll
high
be like,
tech.
Bless,
But
I'm
you
gonna pick you
stuck
up.
in
We
the
going
sub.
listen,
You
we
can
going to
never get out of the
Vegas.
sub, man.
Hey, we're talking.
Why not?
Yo, you know how the
I just
evil
pull it up on the
villains
dock.
always live in volcanoes and mountains? The evil villains, yeah, that would be me.
Okay.
With the
Yeah.
doom mask and everything.
With the doom mask on.
Yeah.
With the
Sitting
doom
in my
mask on.
chair like this with a wild
Yo,
metal
that's super
mask,
funny.
chilling. Like,
Yo,
don't
that's
bother
super
me.
funny.
And Stu riding around in a submarine and shit like
Riding
Doctor
around
Who
the
and shit.
submarine,
Huh.
chilling. I'll be
I
like
don't know what.
Captain Nemo.
Captain Nemo, I mean, yeah. Well, I said Doctor Who.
Two is
The
why you don't give
Nautilus.
certain people money. Here's the
The
Washington
Nautilus.
definition why certain people should not have a disgusting amount of money.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
Why not?
there.
I just want to
He
build a
said
sub.
immediately
How's
he
that?
go buy a submarine.
But
Immediately.
Oh,
if
but
you
that's
don't name it the
disgusting.
Nautilus, if you don't
It's
name it
going
the Nautilus,
what? You think I'm not when I
The
will?
sword of the sea.
You think I won't when I will, Reno? It's definitely gonna be the
got to
Nautilus.
the Nautilus.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be the bomb too.
Yeah,
But
about
listen,
minus amount
It's
of
gonna be
money.
luxury, huh?
I
what?
wouldn't be a
It's gonna be
normal
like a
human
cruise
being
ship, but it go underwater.
with all that crazy money, man. I
Is
don't
cruise shit'll be like Soul Plane, but a submarine. It'll
Man,
be chromed out. It'll
what
be
you know?
plush with ostrich guts. Huh? Man,
man.
look.
He said, "First that with ostrich gut."
Yeah.
Telling you.
Watch.
My
Listen, man,
backyard be
my
filled with
son would be so
lions.
dope. It'd be so dope. Everybody gonna want to go.
Like, nah, I can't be there.
At least I
You
want a
visit the
sub.
mountain.
You know what I mean? You can't beat a submarine.
Man.
Where would you
Robert
even put it?
Downey
Wherever I
Jr. will
want, son.
not
I'm
be
just gonna put
returning
it
to
there.
the cinematic universe.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he
I
will
told
not be
y'all that.
returning.
All right.
Yeah, I told y'all he ain't
Let
coming
him.
back. He
On
said
his
that.
ground. That's what's up.
He's like, I did it. It ended perfectly. Fucking why fuck with something that ain't, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, I told y'all that. He
Why?
loves the way. Yeah, he loves the way it went down. He loves it. He don't have no problem with it.
Feige, yeah. It says Marvel fans shouldn't be checking for Robert Downey Jr. to reprise his role as Tony Stark and blah blah blah. Marvel Studios Feige revealed in an interview with Vanity Fair, despite reports otherwise, there are no plans to resurrect the character after Downey Jr. last appearance 2019's Endgame. We are going to keep that moment and not touch that moment again. End quote. Feige said, "We worked all very hard for many years to get to that, and we would never want to magically undo it in any way." End quote. Smartest thing I've fucking heard him say in a while.
Yeah, that is very smart.
He
Is
said,
the same guy that's making Silver Surfer a female?
Well,
smartest thing I've heard him say in a while.
that one.
Yeah, but yeah, Downey, Robert Downey Jr. obviously was hesitant even to do reshoots for Endgame. He was like, hey, because he was like, I don't know what they're gonna do because you don't know what they're gonna do with your likeness, bro. They got in the contract, they got your shit in perpetuity across the universe. Remember what Dave Chappelle told us?
Yeah,
He broke it
that is
down.
the standard contracts. I read a few of them. Yes.
I mean, yeah, and he said we'd already said tearful goodbyes on the last day of shooting. Everybody had moved on emotionally. This is Joe Russo, by the way, the co-director. He said we promised him it would be the last time we would make him do it ever. Because it was very emotionally taxing, and you can imagine that it would be. I mean, that was some fucking epic shit. We saw what Tony did and all. It was very taxing emotionally, and he was like, hey, we're not doing this no more. And they was like, yeah, cool. He said that was a difficult thing for him to do and to come back to pick up that line. He ain't with it. He said he said when Robert Downey Jr. did come back, we were shooting on a stage directly opposite where he auditioned for Tony Stark. So this is his last line as Tony Stark was shot literally a couple hundred feet from his original audition that got him the role. Little anecdote. Yeah. According to Feige, he had to advocate for Downey Jr. to win the role of Stark in the Marvel franchise because of his past struggles with substance abuse that led him to serving 15 months in prison. So Feige said it purely came down to the Marvel board being nervous at putting all of their chips in the future films on somebody who famously had those legal troubles in the past. Feige said, I wasn't very good and I'm still not great at taking no for an answer, but when I also didn't pound my chest or try to get my way. He said, I try to figure out ways to make it as clear to other people why we should head in that direction. And that's the idea of the screen test that came up. Downey Jr.'s wife, producer Susan Downey, said her husband had turned down the role similar to Stark over the years. And 2018, Downey Jr. told Vanity Fair writer Anthony Breznican that despite the attempts to compare him to the character, he's his own man. He said, I ain't him. I'll tell you that flat out. Yeah, he always famously says that he's nothing like Tony Stark. And I believe him. I've seen him in interviews and shit. He's definitely not like that guy at all. But yeah, I'm glad too, Sada. I'm with you on that, man. I'm definitely glad they're not doing him, bringing him back. That would be such a stupid thing.
Yeah. I think it's like crazy how things came full circle though, because they repeated kind of the same thing with this new saga where they put all their eggs in Jonathan Major's basket to be the big bad, and now they're just like running around like not really knowing keep him, don't keep him, keep him, but I don't know. It's just like that's crazy how things just kind of came full circle like that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. And and speaking of majors, Grace Jabari told Manhattan courtroom at the Manhattan courtroom said that Jonathan Majors domestic violence trial that she was frightened of him before the incident that he got arrested for. She had already been frightened of him before.
Bullshit. I'll tell you what happened. Jonathan Majors did the movie. He got big. His girl that was with him since before he got the movie and got big. He's talking to other chicks because he's a major name now. She found out he was talking to other women. They got into a fight, and she called the police on him. And now she's trying to end his career, like just like a crazy
allegedly
woman. That's it. Look
allegedly.
at Jonathan Majors. Look at her. You think he attacked that woman? Let's just be real.
Allegedly.
First off, let me say that this whole thing is a distraction. Why is it a distraction? Okay. I'm gonna give you the raw take of it. He smacked her. So you mean to tell me he's going to jail for smacking someone? She fractured her finger. I fractured my I fractured my finger. Yes.
What happens?
It's nice now. She said she got a little scratch under her neck.
Look at her.
I understand. I understand that. But what
her.
Huh?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean look at her and look at him? What do you mean?
Look at his size and then look at her size.
Exactly.
What, she's bigger than him?
No, he's bigger than her.
He's way bigger than her.
Oh, well, yeah, I would assume so.
If he had beat her like that, she'd have more than a couple of scratches on her neck. And god dang it,
fractured her finger. Fractured her finger. A finger.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is it's a distraction for something else. Because ain't no way in hell. Why are you going to jail for a smack? Okay, you're on.
Well, no, what do you mean by that? I mean, yeah, you go to jail for smacking people. It's assault.
It's an assault. But is it assault where you go to jail for a smack?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, motherfuckers putting real hands on broad.
Yeah, nah, if you really smack somebody, you really hit somebody, you go to jail for that. 100%.
Yeah, they don't play in New York.
But
that's a very serious offense.
Jabbar, but yeah, she said, we spent every day together, maybe minus a few, within the next few months, the British, she said, he told me he loved me very early on and all of this. She said he was cruel and manipulative, pattern of abuse, and he's looking at a year behind bars. I mean, if found guilty it's a misdemeanor charge stemming from the bullshit that went down or whatever. But He's not being prosecuted by the DA, who said on October 26th that the matter is now closed and sealed. In her testimony today, Jabari outlined that Majors scared her with vitriolic remarks about an ex-boyfriend of hers, not about any girls he was messing with, as well as berating her about going to the 2022 Glastonbury Festival with her friends. Preparing for his role as a traumatized bodybuilder in the acclaimed film Magazine Dreams, the actor was quite stressed. She quoted, "He's a big guy, so you just want to step back," she testified, basically implying that,
Big black
implying that,
man
yeah,
scared me, and I think
That's
he should go to jail.
implying that during the movie that he was playing this bodybuilder, maybe doing steroids or maybe getting all jacked and shit, and getting violent or whatever. That's where she's going with that
But
bullshit.
the
But
incident, the incident happened in the cab, in the Uber or some shit like that, right?
I don't know. I
The,
don't.
the, the incident where she said she got smacked and she fractured something happened in the cab.
Well, she said the woman that supports me, the one I support, needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices. Oh no, I'm sorry. Majors was yelling on a recording that she was playing in court. Yelling, he was saying, "The woman that supports me, the one I support, needs to be a great woman and make sacrifices." uh and saying, "I'm a great man, I do great things," and shit like that on the recording, I guess, was the and yeah, they found the laceration on her, and a finger fracture. Yeah, it's a finger fracture and a laceration.
let's just be real. She was with him before he got the money. Once he got on the screen, started getting money, he started cheating on her because that's what they do. She wasn't down with that shit, and she, I guess, a fight ensued.
But
They
that's
probably
but that but
both of
you're
them
speculating.
trying to pass, and then
We just have to be clear though on the show. You're speculating. That's
oh
not
no, oh no,
fact.
no, 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 no. This is just me. This is
Right.
just me. This is how I dissected it.
Right.
That's just real. That's
No,
just
I feel
real.
you though.
She's
I
a
feel you.
woman scorned. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's not a victim. She's a woman scorned. But let's just be real in the real world how this really works. You feel what I'm saying? She's a
Mm,
woman scorned. That's
yeah.
all it is.
I mean, it's very, very fucking possible. I mean, that is a very possible theory, and likely. But
I just think it's all a distraction, man. For
all I give a fuck about is the goddamn Doctor Doom, and Kang situation.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, all is for what? Like, just like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, like, all that for what? That's their business. Let them handle that in court. Why you gotta publicize it? Like, Kang is a great villain.
Fucking up the Aquaman movie with
Yeah,
Amber Heard.
I
But
mean, like, Kang
yeah,
was
Kang,
he
dude,
was
Doom.
dope, but he wasn't all that.
Nah,
Yeah,
Doom
but
toys with
where
Kang.
did they find
Doom is a
these
real
women?
villain. Kang is a mini boss.
It's a
Kang
Where
is
mini,
a
did they
mini
find
boss.
these women
huh?
Huh?
that do this shit? Like with Johnny Depp
Oh,
and with Jonathan. Where do they find
oh.
these women that are just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna ruin your career.
Eh,
Just fuck it.
people be vindictive than a motherfucker, especially when money's involved. You never know, man. You get that kind of money involved, and motherfuckers act real strange for a piece of change.
That's why you gotta have yourself a motherfucking crib in the mountain.
Word. You gotta word.
Fuck
You
that.
gotta.
First move. 100 million. All right, we building my crib in the mountain. I ain't got time for the bullshit.
Yeah, but stardom is never a journey that you want to walk alone. And you want the people that sincerely know who you are before, you know what I'm saying?
I would want to get
All
with
that
somebody before I was famous. Yeah, I would. I would have to be with
yeah,
somebody.
Well, check it out.
and then to see the magnitude of that switch up once you got a little bit of money, to see how people do that total 180 night and
Yeah.
day shit once a little money is introduced. They didn't know you how long, and you feel what I'm saying?
Money
That's
don't
why
change you, it changes the people around you.
Yeah, it does that.
It
Yeah,
changes
it does.
the people around you. You just
Yeah,
have more ability to grant their menial wishes. You
and
just
they
have
know it,
yeah,
and knowing that makes changes the whole dynamic of the relationship. knowing that you have the ability to change my life. It's gonna change how I treat you and everything.
Yep.
And that shit. And
And if you don't adhere to my demands, then we're gonna have wild
I'm gonna
problems.
end your shit. And that's where I was leading up to this. This is
Yeah.
exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening. She's like, I'm gonna end your shit. And here we are.
Mm-mm-mm.
And
well,
she's
listen,
going
y'all.
back.
Listen, y'all. I gotta wrap it up. It's been like 3 hours, man. But we definitely had a dope conversation, y'all. I really appreciate everybody, man. If you guys came in late, I see some viewership changing, man. Rewind it back. The show was dope, man. Everybody kicking some dope knowledge on this one. And we just here chilling, man. It's Tuesday. We normally do not do shows on Tuesdays. We just popping up. I had a day off. Fuck it, let's do it. If I have days off like this, occasionally in the future, I think it's a good idea. We might pop up and do little shows like this. No problem. But we'll be back. We're back Saturday at 7 p.m. Also, a little intimate secret between you, me, and the universe and everybody else watching. Nah, I ain't gonna say nothing yet. I ain't gonna say nothing yet. But I'm gonna tell y'all after the show. Listen, when I cut the stream, you guys hang around. Everybody that's watching, I'm sorry, but you're gonna find out soon. You're gonna be
We tease him.
it's very cool. But listen, we'll see y'all Saturday, man. Have a good night. Have a good week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.